Um, I can't.
Please welcome the game director of Bethesda Game Studios, Todd Howard.
Yeah, I did. I replied to you and then realized that my mic was still muted. I did Wired. At least so far. I mean, I got attacked twice and it didn't crash. So... But we had to start a new, colony.
Just want to say that the soundtrack from the Warhammer 40k Mechanicus game is fantastic.
I need to come to another RimWorld stream because I just noticed I've got 8,000 marks saved.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
It is a bit of a shame for everyone who invested into the previous colony.
I gave everybody 5,000 coins to try and make up for it. Unfortunately, it's kind of how the game goes sometimes. I had no control over it breaking horribly. It basically came down to a matter of... we removed mods to try and fix it. Excuse me. We removed mods to try and fix it. We got it working, and the game was so broken from the removed mods that it was unplayable.
I do have a lot of marks, though. 14,000.
Yeah,
I
I'm thinking I might
mine into RimWorld coin.
I'm thinking I might do something to, like, increase... I don't really want to increase the cost of things, but... yeah... Then again, things in RimWorld can be quite pricey. You can blow through those 14,000 marks in no time.
So just a heads up, two of our more regular viewers, Power Stone and Baldric, are both quite ill and or not feeling.
Uh-oh.
Curse you, Corona.
Yeah.
Power Stone is sick, And if I recall correctly, Baldric has the flu and ended up, and that combined with a lot of other factors like stress had him his whole body went numb for a little while, and he almost passed out. It was pretty bad.
Mm.
So, but he gets to tune in today, and he's super happy about it, and I'm super excited.
Well, I hope you two get a chance to feel better.
That's me getting replaced by a redacted.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
they let Redacted out again?
Yep.
Oh, I still have sable crowns.
You shut your beak. You're not supposed to talk about redact.
You know what I just realized? Like, since we're all in voice chat and we can't see each other's faces, any one of us could be a Kenku and we'd have no idea.
Shit, dude. You realize there's somebody among us who is probably a higher likelihood of that, right?
Yep.
Let me out, please. But yeah.
Uh,
It looks at Red.
It's always the quiet ones.
Let me out. Let me out. This is not a dance.
Also, in the same sense, one of us could always be mimics too. So these are questions I don't think about.
Nah, mimics tend to change into things that people want, so I don't think I'm gonna be a
Hey, Surf, pull that line.
Pulls the leather.
Why is it suddenly so slimy in here?
I was tricked.
Okay, guys, so I got good news.
You're a Kenku, we knew it.
No, my good news is that I know what kind of kobold I'm gonna be playing in our next campaign.
Oh.
Have you considered trying something?
Yeah, man, I'm trying a bunch of different classes. This time we're gonna do sorcerer.
I mean, like a different race.
A different what?
Different race.
A what? Like a kobold?
He can't understand you. Try it with a
Fair.
cobalt with a K.
My fantasy grounds
Yeah,
is
kobold, that's what I
completely
said.
breaking.
My fantasy grounds is working fine.
Oh,
It's
it's
fine
just
for me.
downloading files. Okay.
Yeah, might have to do
Yeah.
that too.
Oh, cool. The buttons are different. But when you right click for like arrange dice and everything, it's all different.
Yeah.
Oh.
like, if you-
Oh,
if you-
neat. I like
if
it
you
better.
right,
There is.
if you right click on the tower, you get to whisper to the GM.
Really? Wow, that's neat. That makes it so much easier. Every time I whisper to Dova, I have to send testing to make sure I'm not messing up the.
You get that, Dova?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
no, guys, right click on the dice. That's actually really nice.
Yeah, I think that's the thing Dusty mentioned.
It's just probably like they
No, if
probably made these and then we're like people using regular fantasy grounds while we continue to work on them.
Huh, maybe. Yeah, 'cause these menus are much better.
I got like
Holy
3
shit,
backup
you-
character ideas for
Could you
any time.
wait, could you always unlock the chat and move it?
Yes.
Oh, I know you could do that with the tower. I didn't know you could do that with chat.
You can do it with the tower?
Yeah, I always move it into in line with like the characters and notes and all that, because I fucking hate that it always puts it just in the middle of the screen.
Wait, the tower? No,
Yeah,
the tower.
Dice Tower, if you right click on it, you can hit unlock and move it.
Oh my
know,
god,
but
I got
dice
so much
tower's-
power
my
now.
My dice tower's always been in the bottom.
Yeah, I always put it in that gap between. Well, I have a gap between NPCs and tokens because
I have one. I have one between items and tokens. That's actually a good spot for it.
didn't know
Except
that.
it just doesn't want to save it there, so I always have to put it back there every time.
What if you lock position?
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome. Sorry for that delay there. I am Raw Zim, and this is Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. We will turn it over now to Yark.
Yep. Hello. And it's me, the kobold. So yeah, last time I don't really remember much of what happened. I think we got attacked, and then Tsinil went crazy and he made us get on a train, even though, it was all busy, and he made us. Well, either way, we're on the train now. I forget where we're going, but I'm sure someone knows.
For some reason that train took off despite the commotion. Things usually shut down when there's commotions. But that's just railroading.
I don't think there was much commotion, to the city more than it was our own personal urgency,
There was a
right?
fire at the train station, along with an assault and death. Yeah,
And then
that's what snapped the crowd out of
we
it.
got attacked by assassins.
No, yeah, I remember.
But,
Yeah, I remember that. I
but
didn't know
either-
that. I don't remember that was directly at the train station.
But either way, Dusty only said that to make the pun. So, hey, he no mind.
Yeah, we have the assassin with PTSD. Shoved his head away. Bag of bones.
I also really wanted to steal higher quality tickets, but hey, we're in steerage again.
I got high quality
I'm-
tickets
I'm
legally.
in first class.
Yeah.
I can only fit in storage.
Steerage.
Steerage.
Thankfully, they didn't make you buy more than one ticket.
I would have raged.
So before we do anything, I will need a persuasion roll from every one of you in the tower.
Ooh.
I just accidentally put my tower behind everyone's portrait,
What?
so
Nice.
give me a second.
Congratulations.
I'm not sure how to fix this unless, Tsinil disappears.
You said persuasion, right?
Yeah.
I have been given power and I don't know how to use it.
Da, 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 da.
Just unfortunate. Gaster in your tiny little character sheet.
Here.
Why isn't there a way to make the
I thought I was just kicking DeSoda. Grab your dice tower real quick.
I just did it.
Okay. I apologize. I thought that was just gonna remove DeSoda's portrait. Oh, he's angry.
Where did my coat go?
Oh yeah, stream is black.
Yeah, I
Right.
had to quickly hide it before the IP address got revealed to everyone.
Hmm. Oh, then that just worked out. Because there's overlay and a nice black rectangle.
Looks good.
It's what he actually sees.
That's what I see all the time.
Right? He has blind sense.
Yeah.
Don't stare into the abyss too long or it'll stare back into you.
Mm.
So while we're waiting for all that stuff to get back up, has anyone heard of the famous gamer Sonic Fox?
What?
He's a competitive gamer, and he wears a fursuit to his gaming competition.
Oh, I think so.
His name's Sonic Fox. And they did this parody news feature on him, how he was challenged by his rival Shadow
Shadow what?
Wolf.
Did they both wear fursuits?
Yes, it was a palette swap kind of thing. And after he won, he left the building with his friend Knuckles Falco, with his long-term boyfriend Big the Cat.
You keep cutting out.
Gosh dang it! Anyway, they were doing it was a parody thing. Because Sonic the Hedgehog and Fox McCloud, his rival Shadow Wolf, and made up characters Knuckles Falco and Big the Cat Slippy.
Ha.
Anyway, we're back. Let's ignore the thing I just said that wasn't actually very funny. Continue, please.
You also cut out again at the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
All right, so
Nice title.
I know, right? It's a good title. Frankly, I wouldn't have had it any other way, and I'm amazed that I did not do it before.
I'm quite proud.
I don't mind the DM railroading me as long as he gets rid of the road.
Oh, jeez.
I like how you actually had to say it out to get it.
All right, I can't move him to timeout, sadly.
Well, we have a second of quiet.
I love you, Dova.
Second over.
So, last time, you guys did a little bit of a fighting, fought off a assassin or 2 or 3. It's kind of fuzzy about exactly how many there were, but there was at least 3 different directions that the arrows came from. Which, Tsinil, you remember quite a bit, because you were the one who got shot. So, you know. But after the train left, the voyage actually goes fairly smoothly. There's you do a little bit of touring to see kind of what cars are attached to this train. It's a fairly long train, but no matter what you do, they will not let you go past first class. Even those people with first class tickets, they will not let you go further ahead in the train, and you see at least like 5 or 6 cars. Even during some of the sharp bends, while you look out, you can't really see what's in those cars. They look very, very plain. And actually, as you look close, you see that the windows might be blocked or covered, but you can't really tell. But Rosalind, this is a thing of wonder. You're moving at about 50 to 60 miles an hour over these flat and kind of straight sections. Could you turn down the music a little bit, Scum? Just on the Discord part. Thank you. But over the straight sections, you're just basically gliding across the ground. A very faint whooshing sound just outside the windows, and which do roll down. You can stick your hand out and feel the blast of wind from the fairly temperate air outside. The second day starts with a vicious downpour. Looks like the rain outside is just coming through sideways. But the train continues on, making a few stops, but still quite a ways from your... Oh, wait, you guys meant to stop just outside the city. I forgot.
Rewind.
Yeah, there's a stop at First Tower, right?
Yeah. I gotta find my Corvair map. Did all the icons get changed?
It seems like a lot of them did.
Wow. Is this Unity?
Might be some of the assets. It honestly
This
feels
is
a bit
not
quicker to
the
me.
Unity version yet,
Not yet.
but
Feels nice.
There
Like
was
a-
some kind of update.
Like I said, they probably made these assets for Unity, then thought maybe we can import some of these into existing Fantasy Grounds while people wait for the new.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which icons are you
All
guys
right.
referring to, though?
The share icons.
Right click on
my
like
side.
anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's different icons,
Everything's different if you right-click on things.
which made me
Like
very
if you-
confused when I was right-clicking and seeing these different whisper and bell icons.
And if you minimize the little icon, it's like the same size and everything, but it looks a little bit different.
Looks neat. What is this?
You can also torture the DM by right-clicking the tower now.
Oh, that was the first thing I did.
So after a few hours, about 3 hours or so, you make it to First Tower. The First Tower used to be a bastion, this gigantic fortress that would defend Sharn in case of an invasion. And in times past, that actually did happen. But the exact details of that are kind of lost to time since it was so long ago. The First Tower has kind of evolved into this mercantile hub for people who can't quite make it to Sharn, since there are some entrance requirements. So kind of the market for undesirables in this area is quite a bit larger.
Because eat are not allowed in the cities.
Racist.
Somewhat. Fire elementals, those who are somewhat civilized, might be here, since having a being made of fire is not the greatest thing inside of a city. A city that's as tall and populated as Sharn. So, stuff like that. Following... The train has a very brief stopover. So you might be able to stop here, grab your contact, and you might be able to continue. But there won't be very much room for sightseeing. Using the flyer, you make your way to the proposed meeting location, which seems to be just a residential house. It's a fairly tall house, about 3 stories or so, but it doesn't look to be incredibly affluent. But you can tell that it's definitely a step above the average citizen. Does anybody knock?
Sure.
Sure.
All right. You hear a kind of muffled voice.
Sure.
A muffled voice inside. He just says, "Coming, coming. You don't have to ring. You don't have to knock with like 5 people at the same time."
I'll kick the door.
How hard?
Not hard enough to take it off its hinges, but basically booting it.
Can you give me a dexterity saving throw?
Are there any like pieces or panes of glass in this door?
There would be one above the door pane.
I'm gonna tap it with my claw.
It's about this moment where Rosalind kicks that the door suddenly swings open. Rosalind, you kind of awkwardly stumble forward as your target is no longer there, and standing there. It's a very weird scene because you're expecting a human, and he's expecting somebody moderately sized. Because you've got Rosalind at, was it 2 feet?
Yeah.
And then Zerth at, I think it's 9 would put you at, right?
Taller than 9. I think like 9'6" or something. But
Anyway, I'm 3'6", so you're about a feet up. I think it's Yark that's 2 feet tall.
2.5.
9'6".
2 feet tall.
You guys are a little bit awkwardly sized as the gnomish man, about 3.5 feet tall inside. Or not gnomish, halfling. So
I was about to
closer
say,
to, yeah.
he and I would have had some problems.
That's not the right one. As he looks over you all fairly quickly, you can see that he has kind of curly red hair. Currently wearing a fairly plain-looking tunic. Not very fanciful, not very audacious or kind of crazy looking. He looks to you and opens the door fully and says, "Is this about the expedition?" He just kind of waits for a moment before saying, "I assume it is, because I don't believe I've met you before, and you don't look rough and tumble enough to be looking for some sort of bounty."
Dova, I forget why we're here.
I'm trying to suppress Raku right now.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I just want to start going off.
It was an expedition to the Black Pit, or a ruin near there.
Well,
Yeah,
where
sure,
you guys would basically have free reign to grab everything that isn't a certain artifact.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, I just funded my own expedition out in Sharn, so carry on.
Oh, you guys are quiet.
Also,
Are you
whatever happened to that
Sorry.
dwarven woman? Did we get information out of her?
No, we just kind of left her behind in the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian's just trying to see where this is going, because as far as he knew, we were going to Black Pit. Or the Black Caps.
Mhm.
I completely forgot why we're even here at First Tower.
Because this is where he lives.
No, why
There's
we
an
are here.
expedition heading there.
Yeah, we weren't just gonna go at Black Pit and do nothing. We were supposed to go and start the expedition. That's how these things work.
Okay, so I'm trying to... Okay, so we need to meet him before we go there. Okay, I thought this might have been a separate...
Presumably he has the actual location of the ruin.
And then we had the whole contract for this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it said, well, you have free reign to pretty much everything that isn't nailed down aside from one thing.
Okay, I'm gonna take the things that are nailed down.
Not in the house yet. Specifically says that.
We're just so focused on what the task is on at hand.
I mean, y'all are expecting Rosalind to like talk to this. Can somebody who's actually fluent in diplomacy talk to?
I'm proficient in persuasion.
We'll put it this way: my diplomacy lessons are screaming at something and throwing a ham.
How do I have provision in animal handling?
Okay, I'll take over. So essentially, we're here to get information about the trip.
All right, so you're wishing to go on the expedition then?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect, perfect. How did you get here, and do you have any sort of means of transportation?
We took the lightning rail.
Took the lightning rail.
And Noon's
Very
gonna.
well.
Who has the wait? What is it? That is a lightning rail. Who has the actual like paperwork that we had before that explained everything? I thought we had like a packet that we found somewhere.
Like an actual flyer?
Yeah.
Was it just the flyer on the board?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I guess I'll just assume that Anoon has it. He's gonna hand it to the guy and say, "Yeah, we're just looking for. We're interested. We're just looking for more details."
All right. Well, this is perfect, I suppose. Well, since you took the rail here, that means there's one instinct. As he does like a bit of kind of mumbling and thinking. It says, I will go get my things, and we'll try to catch the train again before it leaves.
Sounds good.
There's
Alright.
just stay here. It won't be very long at all. Door closes, and you can hear him yell something.
just gonna-
Clearly
oh,
to
sorry.
somebody else in the house. Sorry.
Continue.
And then scarcely a minute later, he comes out with quite robust looking adventuring gear. A large knapsack complete with a bedroll and what looks to be a tightly rolled tent. A fairly kind of sleek looking crossbow held on a strap behind his back. And a handful of what look to be small knives. There's a hand axe, as well as a little bit more formidable-looking short sword. You can see a little bit of motion behind him as he pulls the door shut behind him, inserts a key into the lock, and locks it. Well,
Little did we know he just locked his wife in there, who he abuses.
you guys didn't want to listen in.
We don't know.
As he kind of pulls on the straps of his knapsack and says, "Well, let's go. We will have to rent a carriage in Hathril, but I do have things planned for that. By the way, my name is Ariabor.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Vast loyalty
I
is
wouldn't mind if you
greatly
didn't use my
appreciated.
last or middle name, because really, a sort of professional relationship is one that I prefer.
Said his name is Ariaborn.
Ariabor.
Ariabor. My name is Zerth. Elder Zerth.
He looks up at you. It's a nice name. You're very tall.
You're very short.
That's true.
Thank you.
I'm a Noon, and I have no middle or last name.
Well, nice to meet you.
I'm Yark the Kobold.
Is the Kobold your last name? Your
Nah,
surname,
I
or?
don't really have a last name.
Gotcha. So
Yes,
the Kobold
it's-
is kind of a descriptive then.
Yeah.
All right.
Wouldn't Kobold introduce himself as like of house, whatever you are? Because you kind of have a title, don't you?
Oh, that's true.
Technically, you can't say that.
I'm Yark of House Glanda.
I don't know how it's possible, but a lot of the time you cut off in the last syllable.
I don't
yeah,
understand.
Hi, I'm Yark of...
I'm holding the shift button the whole time. Hi, I'm Yark of House Galanda.
You gotta follow through. You cut off at the last syllable.
I don't understand. I held.
Try
I
wait.
held.
Try
I held the
wait
button,
15
like,
seconds after you.
I held
like,
the
try
button.
wait-
Yes, I held it like 3 seconds after I stopped talking. I'm Yark of House Galanda.
All right, that sounded better.
You know what that situation was? The gnome was just like, "Can you speak up, Sonny?
What?
I can't hear you very well." He's
Digs
just
something out
twisting
of his
some kind
ear.
of device in his ear.
Yeah.
What?
He brings out the
Powerstone-
horn.
Powerstone says my voice tends to soften at the end, so maybe the voice threshold thing kicked.
Maybe.
So I have my push to talk release delay set to 130 milliseconds, which is at least 2 seconds.
Let me see. It's always good to see a member of the houses. I've got some far cousins. I believe they're in House Civis, actually. None in House Galanda, though, sadly. I've heard that the parties are fantastic.
I wouldn't know. I'm usually in the kitchen.
Ah, well, I suppose there is that. As he's, I assume you guys are walking towards the train station at this point.
Yeah.
Walking as you're talking.
I'm Rosalind. I'm not from around here.
Well, I can tell that none of you are really, common, I'd say. You're all quite an exotic seeming people.
That's a good word for it.
Mm-hmm. I suppose all the weirdos among us kind of group together. Not saying that.
Strange tends to attract strange.
There we go.
He cut off again.
Ah.
It's just the end of Strange, so it's not.
Okay, well, you get what I said.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together.
As you guys clamber back into the train, he actually seems to have a train ticket just reserved and walks up to the desk, just pulls the train ticket out from the mailboxes or the kind of secure holding boxes towards the rear of the office. His would technically be common class, but he would probably stick towards steerage since that's where all of the rest of you are.
Well, I feel like this guy bought this ticket like months ago because we just showed up on his door. He's like, well, time to peace out. Just with no second thought. He's like, honey, I'm leaving this second. It seems like he's been trying to get out of here.
Where is my adventure pack? Why do you need to know?
I need it! My expedition's in danger.
Where are my soup rations?
Oh, God. Super rash.
Just tell me where my pack is, woman. It's for
where that sword is.
Greater good. Honey, I am your wife. I am the greatest good you are ever gonna get.
My hearth is in danger.
I love that line so much.
It's a wonderful immortal.
So fantastic.
Anyway. Now that we know this gnome is dipping out on his family life.
Adventure calls.
Bye!
Alright, so as you settle in, the train gives a kind of a lurch as it continues onwards. Unrewind, second day comes, and he's giving you a lot of info about the expedition itself. It is it's a crypt, an old burial tomb for an honored dead. The exact name of the guy isn't really known, but his deeds are a little bit more well known, at least within the archaeological community. Apparently, he was the founder of an old mountain fortress within the Black Caps, kind of this mage community. Brought in people from all over, and kind of imparted upon them a certain mindset and a certain set of experiences that once they came back, they were never really the same. Wizards would come back knowing strange, kind of esoteric spells. They'd have these kind of nervous tics, and their just sort of general power was increased by quite a bit, though clearly having taken a toll on their own sort of faculties.
Anun's gonna ask if he's gonna try being vague and not bring up like his book or any of the runes, but ask him if he has any notes from previous expeditions so he can get a better idea of what they're going into or what they're looking for this time.
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of a first-time deal, so I'm not even sure what exactly is going to happen either. I've been looking for previous notes and previous previous people have been doing, but there's really nothing out there. For some reason, this has either slipped by some of the sort of dungeon delving community, or something just goes so disastrously wrong that no traces of a successful or even a failed expedition exist?
How many expeditions have gone to this place?
That's a great question. I've heard very rare kind of murmurings of one expedition, but the paper trail disappears as soon as they arrive.
Mm.
Murder.
So, as far as we know, no one's been there, or at least nobody has completed it.
Yes, I did not in my own research, especially among the artifact trading hubs and various circles. Nothing has really come out of there. No items claiming to have been excavated. So it is safe to assume from my position that at least it has not been touched. So it could very well be pristine.
Would Anun have noticed if this guy was like looking at his robes, like at the ruins? Like if it was obvious or if I need to make a check? Because I, kind of forgot that I'm wearing all of it.
He would be, actually. From time to time, you can see his glance kind of get sucked from whoever he's talking to kind of look over the aisle at you, and then kind of blink a few times and then go back to his conversation. But you can tell that it's definitely lingering.
Can I roll insight to just try to guess on his face, trying to get into his mind if he's just curious about it or if he's like examining something he's seen before?
Go right ahead. It definitely seems that he's distracted by your robes. You can't tell past kind of the surface level at the moment, but if you were to guess, it seems that he might know what they mean, or at the very least, he's seen them before.
Anun's just gonna kind of keep that to himself more, but keeping in his head to be ready if he needs to confront him about it. But he's not going to do that, especially not on a train right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just going to keep an eye on him.
Oh, dropped it. All right.
What would you roll?
That was a USB, so
Heads or tails?
I rolled a 32 gigabyte.
It's a common number to roll.
Yeah. USB 3, so, The brand name is A-Data, but it always just looks like it's holding a data, just one. Can't hold more than one data in there. It's a bad joke. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm ashamed for you.
Oh, slightly off-topic question, by the way, but still in the lines of the. When we get to 9th level, what happens to my brutal critical trait since we use the critical cards?
What does it do?
I get 1 additional weapon die damage when determining the extra damage for critical hits with a melee attack.
I'd say with that you can choose.
All right.
So you can say, I got a critical, I would like to do what it says by the book, which is doubling all the damage dice. I think.
Just checking, because otherwise it'd effectively have no trait for 9th level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we just double, triple, or whatever the damage dice as it is. So really, you'd probably just wind up, you get, it says you get 1 extra die.
Yeah, 1 extra damage die.
So then you just add 1 more die on top of whatever else you're rolling.
Are you talking about Christopher Barbarian?
Yeah, brutal critical at 9th level. You roll 1 additional weapon damage die when determining the extra damage for critical.
Yeah, so What is your current?
My current weapon's a warhammer.
So it does.
1d8 plus 6.
All right. So on a crit, instead of doing 2d8 plus 6, you do 3d8 plus.
No, we're mostly talking about if the card says like double or triple your damage. I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
with
then
your
you
ability,
double
we
it.
can
because the
move
Well,
it the
then,
next tier.
well, then
If
you
you got a
double it,
card that
triple
says
your.
double, do triple. If you got one that says do triple, do quad.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, because the book doesn't take into account the crit cards. That's all I was asking. Sorry for derailing us a bit.
Oh no, I was curious.
Well, train is still well within the rails. I mean,
The
it's
DM's
still going straight after all.
Team's got us on the
DM's really-
rails pretty good.
Yeah.
Dova, did
DM's
you
really
see
good.
the
Railroad.
influence that came in last
did.
week?
Yep,
You
I
know,
did.
Dova, if you wanted, you could railroad me harder. I wouldn't mind.
Please
Settle
stop.
down, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, as lunchtime comes around, you can hear a little bit of conversation from the drink attendants and from the sort of people bringing food and snacks around. And up beside your kind of row of seating, you kind of look over and you a little bit surprised. This is the same guy that you bought Rosalind's statue from.
Really?
As he kind of tips his hat and says, "Well, hello.
Good
Fancy
evening.
seeing you here." Oh, and as he looks over at Rosalind, I see that we've got a little better. I should have sold you for more.
She is priceless. So
Then a museum.
Surf, what is this man talking about?
Oh, it's nothing.
I'm giving him a look right now. That is every look that he should understand.
Yeah, he laughs nervously. As he just kind of claps his hand, and you can see that he is wearing the train sort of uniform, a fairly neat looking tunic with a little hat on top of his hat is his kind of traditional top hat with the train uniform colors of kind of red and gold.
Finding another line of work.
Just in some way, I have to increase my sort of market penetration in all ways, and this is a fantastic spot. You know how many adventurers, people with fairly deep pockets, take these lightning rails?
Fair
I tell
enough.
you what, I say about a third of my income is in Galifars these days.
Lucrative. It has to make up for that gargoyle. As he gives him a sly smile.
Well, let's not talk about the gargoyle.
Yes. Let's not. Like the look of like we are on an agreement now. Because I could personally ruin you.
Hello, mister. You remember those bracers I wanted?
I do. Do you have the rest of that payment?
No. But I want to know if I could just buy one.
Well, they do come in a pair. The
I
one really
can't
doesn't work
wear
without
both
the
of them anymore.
What do you mean?
He motions to his stump.
No, you have. You
Well, I don't suppose it would hurt if you wore it on your feet. But you do need both of them.
But you have the magic on.
It goes away when I'm not using it.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. I thought that was the thing about it.
I mean, you can put it away when you want, but you don't ever have to do that.
You don't have to? but it is kind of annoying to have that sort of massive, kind of crinkly, clanky crystal on your right side. Makes a lot of noise when it moves.
Unless you get used to it.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, I'd rather have a magic arm than no arm. All like 100% of the time.
The sounds it does make are quite unpleasing to your bad ears, though.
I have very sensitive hearing.
It's true.
How much were the bracers?
3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mm.
I've been trying to save up, but things keep happening.
That's a little bit more safe. I'm gonna look to Dusty and just go. We may be able to get you your bracers later after this.
Oh, I just remembered. Speaking of magic stuff, can you tell me what the deal is with this? And I'm gonna pretend to hand him a book.
He's looking at your hand very, very carefully. I'm sorry, it's very small.
I'm gonna open up the invisible book and flip through the pages, which makes the page flipping sound, and say, "See, I found this a while ago, and I can't even."
He's kind of furrowing his brow.
As the pages go.
He holds his hand outwards as if to touch it. May I?
Yeah, and I put the book in his hand.
He kind of fumbles at it, trying to feel around where its corners are before kind of flipping on it. Turns it upside down. You can hear the pages kind of hang downwards and kind of brush against each other. Well, I've never seen something like this, and frankly, I don't know what the purpose of it is. But it is very interesting. I can't actually read it. I'm using industry secret peering techniques, and I can't even see what's on it. I can see that it is in fact a book, and I can see he kind of squints, little bits of magic kind of flaring in his eyes and on these large kind of arcane spectacles. Yeah, it's completely invisible.
Oh.
I'm sorry to say.
Well, thanks anyway.
I do know that in certain areas, like an anti-magic field, specifically, this might be affected. But as in localized interference, for example, from a dispel magic, that might be able to help at a high enough expenditure.
Ooh. Inu, do you have dispel magic? Hello?
He flips through his spell book.
Yeah, I have it. Well, I mean, Anu's in first class right now.
I mean, I figured we all came back to talk for a little bit. Because I'm in first class too, but I want to talk to the.
And you can get a seat in the dining carriage as well. Basically, like a diner.
Well, you see, Anu's on the train, so that means Anu's hammered.
You can be hammered and here.
As you're kind of just swaying in your chair slightly.
Can we get a giant shoehorn just so we can squeeze her through the door?
I am having trouble moving between doors.
Yeah, it's a little bit troubling. You do have to remove quite a bit of your equipment and place it in. I believe you have a bag of holding, correct?
I think so.
I know that Yark does. You have
I do.
Specifically a very bad bag of holding, Zerth.
I do.
What are you talking about? It's a perfectly acceptable bag of holding for people.
That's true. It just doesn't give them back. That's the issue.
It has a very Zerth kind of personality with it.
It's a bag of holding, not a bag of taking back out.
Yeah.
What you should do is you should get a shopkeeper to inspect.
You cut out.
I said he should get a shopkeeper to inspect it.
I can identify it.
That's not the point.
Well, I can only offer that service should a purchase be made.
We can figure out that it's actually a bag of giving.
Oh, Wait, question, Dova.
Yes.
This guy, like the guy we're doing, for some reason I missed the part. Is the guy we're doing the expedition with the guy who sold us the stuff?
No.
Okay,
No.
so this is just a different
It's two
person on the
Different
train.
guys. Yeah.
Okay,
This,
that's what I was worried.
this is
wondering.
Greaves.
It's Greaves.
Ah, okay. Quick question, sir. How much is this worth? And I'm gonna hold up the potion of diminution. Diminution? Diminuate that, whatever that word is.
I'm surprised you're not
Smallerization.
your enhancement
Yes.
potion.
Diminution, yeah.
Smallensing.
It's a smallymorph.
That's polymorph.
Smallymorph potion.
That's a great question.
Anti-wumbo potion.
Let me see. As he looks at it, he kind of swirls it around, looks at it in the light. He kind of opens up a portion of his little cart, reaches in and grabs a little magnifying glass and reaches it up and says, "Well, I think for store credit wise, this would be worth 3,000.
Oh,
If you just wanted to sell it, I'd say maybe 1,500.
I can trade this in for the bracers.
I believe that's an acceptable trade."
I hold out my hand and say, "You got a deal."
Hold on, Yark. Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%.
Reaches out, shakes your hand, and there's a little spark of magic as at about the instantaneously you lose the potion and a pair of these sparkly fine bracers are now in your hand as he withdraws his hand.
Cool.
So we'll go ahead and subtract that potion of smallerization. Smallymorph. Fantastic name.
Thank you.
Smallymorph.
All right, Dova, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take out my my chef jacket, tie it around my neck like a cloak, and slowly approach Dusty, holding the gauntlets on the bracers on a pillow, and I'm going to do the devoted knight bow on one knee and say, "I present these to you."
Just he's staring in small disbelief in this, and like, brother.
Accept this as well as my gratitude for the and then he gives him a wink and says, "Well, everything on it."
Father, say you forgive him.
Do I see this? Is my head like poking out of the hallway like I'm laying?
Yeah,
What's
you'd
going
be,
on?
The line. This hamlet shall not fall.
I'd say you'd probably be taking up an entire side of one of the benches, whereas everybody else squeezed in on the other side. It's like bench seating, or like a booth, but it is cramped.
Yes, it
You
is.
can't buy trust.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You can buy my trust. But I mean, he already has, so I guess this is a moot point.
Well, here's the thing. Dusty covered for him. He went along with this whole crazy adventure, and he gave him the winning ticket and got him the pseudo dragon. There's a lot of stuff Yark wanted to pay him back for, and I hope this makes it even. Also, he paid for he paid for the damages that the parents caused, which put him back even further.
How much money did you put down on the bracer so far?
I had general store credit that I was gonna spend it on. 1,250.
Oh damn.
Well, I've still got a shop here. What are you looking for?
He's going to ponder and then look at the arm, look at the bracers, and then look at Yark and say, Can I get him better tools?
Hmm.
I want him, in all his experimenting and smartness, to make this arm really crazy. I bet he can put those bracers inside this arm somehow and make it less clinky and smoother. So, give him
I don't know about putting them bracers in the arm because
maybe just
definitely
one.
You definitely gotta be careful when it comes to combining magic items. I'd feel much safer if you just wore the bracers on the.
Oh, well, okay. Can I get him some special tools though?
Absolutely. I think I have precisely what one is looking for.
Yes.
You're just gonna clap his hands and his tail's gonna wag behind him.
He's going to reach into the cart and almost stick his entire body in as he slowly withdraws a tool case about the size of a shoebox, except a little bit flatter. And you can see that the exterior is trimmed with just this wondrous looking filigree. It is fancy. It looks like it's part of this dark mahogany wood. As he slowly undoes the very solid and fine oiled latch, he opens it up, and you can see as a little bit of the light from around the room just kind of refracts along the edges of these crystal inlaid, what looks to be a single piece of metal with little fancy engravings. It's got little gemstones that kind of catch the limited amount of light, and there's also a that same kind of color of the tool case of kind of mahogany inserts on some of these tools as well, as he shows you a magnificent set of tools that you could use to replace your tinker tools.
Yerk's eyes sparkle.
Now,
Yeah,
are
these
they
are-
the good ones or your best ones?
They're the good ones. Well, I'm keeping the best ones for myself, you better believe. But
I understand that.
these are leagues better than some of the master artificers have in this world. Mechanically, he says in parentheses. Imagine everything he says to just be in brackets.
No, he doesn't. He does the thing Claptrap does in the second one where he tries to explain it in world. It's like, screw it. Look, it's just +2 tools. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name your price.
Well, coincidentally, and this is the reason that I brought these ones, is that these are worth precisely 1,200.
I'll take them.
Very well.
And then he'll take them.
Well, I suppose I'll just give them to him.
Yes. No, wait. Give it to me. I need to kneel. I need to kneel back.
Oh, fair enough. I won't argue. As he closes the clasp and hands it to you, and it feels very dense in your hands.
Dusty takes the bracers and then kneels for Yark. My present to you. My present to you.
oh man. And he takes them with shaking hands. These are beautiful. And then he's gonna do something you've never really seen him do before. So he takes strapped on his back, he has the folding boat folded up and the alchemy jug on top of that. He takes those off, and then you see, you didn't really notice it before, but he has a really flat looking kind of thing strapped to him.
Ooh.
He takes that off, which you've never seen him do before, and presses a couple buttons, and off comes what looks to be a mundane looking version of the box he just.
Ooh.
And then he puts that the new fancy box on top of that, and it kind of clicks into place. There's a bit of mechanical whirring and magic sparks all over the place, and then he straps it back.
Yes.
And then he does that thing you've seen him do a couple times when he's identifying stuff. Like the little tools will pop out of his wrist, but it's the new awesome tools that he's gotten instead of his own.
It's pretty fancy.
Nice.
Mechanically, those are +1 to any abilities that directly use the tools themselves.
All right, I'm gonna have to figure out how to put that in my skills, but thank you.
So any sort of crafting rolls, any sort of abilities which specifically ask to roll to use these tools, and they would be Tinker's tools.
All right, so only for my tinker stuff then.
All right, so Masterwork Tinker's tools.
Pretty much. +1.
Masterwork.
I have so many tools.
Master of puppets.
I've got wood carvers, tinker's tools, thieves tools, smith tools, cooks, brewers, and alchemist set. All of which get double proficiency, by the way.
So it's getting insane.
So, you sell more than just food, right?
Oh, much more than just food. Well, I can sell you pretty much any food that you would like. Also, can somebody please remove that that little circle? Oh, there we go. I'll just delete it.
Sell me your train. Sell me your train.
This is not my train.
I don't suppose you have any magical gauntlets or belts or hammers for that instance. I only have the one magical hammer.
Well, I believe that I might have one that returns to the wielder, should it be thrown.
Ooh.
But would
I'm
that fit
intrigued.
your style, however?
Well, sometimes I throw things. Mostly hand axes, but those don't do a lot sometimes.
I see.
And Greaves just, pulls out Mjolnir just casually.
It is oh my god. Mjolnir is just a +3 hammer that returns to its user when thrown.
That's about
And
it.
does additional lightning damage.
Well, no, there is like a hammer that does like 3d6 of lightning damage, but that's only once per day. And then there's also the hammer of lightning bolts, but that requires you to be wearing special magical equipment in order to attune to it. But it's like a heavy hammer, and I can't really use heavy weapons effectively.
Sudden urge to turn all of the Avengers equipment into legendary gear.
By the way, how do I get rid of this circle on the map?
The little green circle? I don't know.
No, this one that's...
I added that as a way to show the viewers where we are.
Oh, that's the pin mark for that.
Well, that was still on Sharn.
Oh yeah, to just ask me to move it.
Oh, the little gray circle, the little black circle.
I have to delete it.
Oh, that is...
Well, makes sense.
That is very rude of the game to not let the DM do that.
So yeah, about this hammer.
Yeah. Well, it is fairly expensive. Lafar's on you at the moment.
Not quite. But I am on my way to work.
Well, I can't just give it out as a donation. This is a business after all. So
I wasn't asking, but I'm asking if there is a way you set it aside for.
I suppose I could make sure that it would be a side for you, since you all have given me a decent amount of business yourself. But yes, I'll put it aside for you.
Dusty just like flexing in a corner, going, the power!
You feel so much stronger.
I have 21 AC.
Oh god.
With my new... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well...
So about average for a paladin, then.
Oh yeah, but he doesn't have disadvantage on stealth check.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
can
throw the
swim.
bat at everything now.
Oh, first thing I want to do with my new tools is to work on that mini oven, portable oven I've been working on since the beginning of the game.
All right. The easy bake / chaos bake.
Yes, I wanted to only make random desserts. That's the function I've set
I
for
thought
it.
that blew up.
Everything blows up. A lot of stuff I make blows up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not blown up forever.
No, it's just perpetually in the motions of blowing up and then
The really slow
repairing
explosion.
itself. It's just blowing up, then imploding, and then blowing up again, then imploding. It's stuck in a time.
If there's one thing you should know about me is nothing I make ever stays exploding.
So,
So
kind of wish we
the
turned in. Kind of wish we turned in Tsinil for that bounty. Now that would have been 10,000 towards my new hammer.
10,000, you say?
So the function I want this mini oven to do is just make random desserts whenever I push the button. Maybe I'll add a coin slot so it'll actually like have some sort of material to work. Can magically turn the value into food or something.
Dragon shards.
You figure
Dragon
you probably
shards.
have to feed it
Inventive
something.
replicator.
What?
You definitely
Dragon
have
shards
to feed
in
it
place
something.
of reagents.
So go ahead and I'd say that would take about a work week to finish.
And now I can actually finish with it instead of experimenting with my new.
Which they are a pleasure to work with. They're very well balanced and they fit your hand very well.
Every
It's
time
like
I
they
turn-
were made for you.
There's this one screw that I kept trying to turn, but every time I did, it would just snap.
A wise decision.
So, will there be anything else for anyone? I do have the conventional select snacks and refreshments. I've got as he starts digging around, I've got this very small desk. As he holds out his hand, and you can see a miniature piece of furniture.
Any info on that pack item I wanted?
Refresh my memory. I talked to quite a few people who are looking for items.
The canine.
Out of character, what were you looking for?
The hellhound.
Oh. Well, a few regulations would have had to be broken on my end to bring that here. So, fortunately, until I can do a little bit of lobbying, we won't be able to bring one of those creatures.
Let me know as soon as you do, though.
That shall.
Ooh, can I buy a few pounds of coffee beans?
Absolutely. From this world, I do have some ones that are currently glowing.
As fun as that might be, I shouldn't mess with the space-time continuum that much.
Yes, that's true, and I think you might not survive the hit anyways. As he brings out a few bags. For all
you have
intents and
mithril
purposes,
light?
these are fairly the same. So, 1 gold coin each.
Each per pound, right?
Yes.
Like 3.
All right. Go ahead and add 3 pounds of coffee beans.
Label Folgers.
What's coffee?
I mean, labeled forgers.
Yep.
Thanks to avoid any angry people that might not like us.
Well, I've got plenty of potions of healing. I've got a magical rod right here, but I don't believe any of you are. No, that would not really work with any of you.
You got a Sprite?
He reaches in. Yes, actually, and he holds up a jar with a little glowing like fairy inside. That's not for sale though. That is mine.
I expect an actual Sprite with like a plastic cup and like 3 I go on a lot of. I used to go on a lot of trains.
Well, I do have some scrolls of protection from beings like that. Protection from Fae. We've got somewhere in here. I know that there's a mass polymorph spell.
Oh, there was a drink I had on another train a while ago. It was like all fizzy. It was cold. It was super sweet.
It was what?
Talking about a soda, Dova. that what's it called? Not experimental. It's like pre something. I can't remember the word. Like a prototype soda, basically.
Okay.
You gave it to me. You gave it to me on the train when we were the very first train in first class.
It might have been the hydromal.
That sounds about right.
Or no, it was I think it was kvass.
I don't know. Hydromal
Which is
sounds.
A natural fermented drink. A naturally carbonated drink.
I don't know. The first one sounded more familiar.
Hydromal's made out of honey, and I think it's literally just honey and water.
Oh, that sounds not all that great.
Mhm.
All right. Well, then the second one.
All right. 5 of your silver pieces for each bottle.
I'll buy 2.
All right. Go ahead and add 2 bottles of kvass, and that's spelled Kvass. Let me see. A scroll of clairvoyance, a scroll of dark vision.
I'm only gonna add 1 because I'm gonna drink 1.
All right. Let's see. I've got 2 scrolls of disguise self. I think that one of these might be a forgery, though. I can't really tell. We'll just put both of those aside.
I used to have a scroll of disguise scroll. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's one of these, and I haven't had any disgruntled customers yet. So, yeah. A scroll of poison spray, protection. I already said that one. Shield, thunderclap, and then power word kill.
I narrow my eyes.
Kind of hurts my hand, so I'm going to put it away.
I just heard all of the fur on a dude's tail stand up.
He's kind of like looking at all these scrolls, and they're like fairly mundane looking. One of them has like a little silver string around it, and he pulls out one that looks like it's literally made of midnight pitch black paper that kind of like writhes a little bit in his hand. A little tentacle comes out and kind of lashes out.
The air around it, the air around it is shimmering dark.
The whole room gets a little bit darker, and there's like just like a very faint bass note you can hear in the background.
A dark cloud covers the sun for a moment, for as long as it's.
I'm just gonna stare at it.
Let's just put that away. I don't think you can afford that.
In the distance, a baby cry.
Do you
I've got some fancy sling bullets made out of lead here.
Dusty starts having flashback to the greater mimic. Fuck.
Zerth's gonna look at his water skin and then look to him and is like, do you have something to control water elementals?
Water elemental? No, but I do have a scroll of command water.
I already have that.
Control water. My selection is somewhat limited due to this impromptu meeting.
Just imagine Zerth being able to, just poke his snoot above the water, but anywhere.
Do you have something to always produce water?
Not on hand. I believe there's some in my... it's in one of my stores. I do have a decanter of endless water, but I'm not exactly sure where at the moment.
You have my number. Message me when you find it.
I suppose I'll come with the direct offer then.
How do I find you if I get enough stuff, either items or money to buy the hammer from you?
Well, whenever the mindset comes up, the desire to spend money, and the money therefore burning a hole in one's pocket, I tend to be just around the corner. As he gives kind of a wry smile. And speaking of, I believe I have somebody who will purchase a collapsible airship. So
What?
I bid you
Yerk's eyes, Yerk's head perks.
Wait, do you have
Can I
mental full plate?
That I do not.
Damn. Okay. Maybe some other place.
As you guys pass through a particularly heavy grove of trees, the already fairly dim light, due to the rainstorm being blocked out even further, and in the shadows, he just kind of makes his leave. And he's gone.
Great fun!
Nice fella.
Right, boo?
Well, I
Me just a moment for the influence. I had the
Zer's just
program
gonna take
closed.
in the meantime, Zer's just gonna take a deep breath. Oh crap! I forgot to ask if he had train snacks. Damn.
He just gives you some chips.
He throws the whole thing in his enormous mouth, bagging.
Yeah. Well, he ate your coffee cup that one time.
I do that with the. Has anyone ever had like those mini cookie packets that you could literally fit in your between your fingers? There's like 5 mini cookies in them or something like. Yeah, I just put the entire bag in my mouth at once.
Dusty's going to have some cotton candy. Today turned out to be a pretty good day.
I almost forgot I gave you that.
And thinking about not giving away all of his money as he usually does.
Hey, Noon, can I have a loan?
Hey, we're getting
Don't you have to
background
get some
noise
money
from
back?
someone.
Huh?
Yeah, I couldn't hear myself talk either. Can I get a loan? I'll give Tsinil as collateral. I'm kidding.
Doesn't Noon have to get some money back from Tsinil?
People are cutting out real bad.
Oh.
I didn't hear anything Rosalind said. All I heard was I heard can, and then there was nothing else.
I was joking about getting a loan, because you seem to be the bank these days. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to fight through here.
I heard it though.
Yeah, because he just gave all that other money to Tsinil.
That's what we should do. We should rob a bank.
Technically, 2 people already did.
Yeah, really.
I did.
So, after the rest of the day just kind of messing around with your newfound additions, the next day is much more fair-tempered weather-wise, and you see a very bright day is ahead of you. After breakfast, you guys are kind of calmly letting it digest and just kind of sitting there for a little bit. When can I get a perception check from everybody?
Sinnoh's not actually in the that cabin with them. Do you still want one?
Yeah, from everybody.
I see nothing.
I see everything.
Noon doesn't see the airship about to attack the train again.
I see my bracers.
Wow, someone's
Oh,
dice
Yark.
is so black you can't read the numbers on it.
So DeSoto, having just stuck his head out the window to kind of do the classic dog thing, begins to start barking at something. Looks to be either just ahead of the train or maybe on top in a.
Oh, I bet we're getting hijacked again.
Zerth and Yark,
Yes.
you've just passed through a fairly lengthy tunnel, and you can see a very faint shadow on the plains. It's going fairly quickly, kind of matching the speed of the train. Can I get a history check from both of you?
Do we even need to?
We're
I'm
getting
sure this moment
hijacked
is like
again.
engraved in our memory.
You need for one aspect. Just give me a dang history check.
I got 20.
Both of you would realize, hey, it's the same ship.
Oh man.
Oh, great. Damn.
I'm gonna turn to Zerth. Well, I'm gonna look at our group, and then do I see that Zerth kind of recognizes?
Yeah, both of you are kind of staring out one side of the train, looking at it and trying to crane your neck to see where exactly it is above the train.
All right, I just go over to Zerth, open the window, and say, "All right, put me."
All
Do
right,
what? You cut out.
I said,
Hold
"All
the
right."
dang push the talk button down
I
longer.
have been the whole time. I say, "All right, put me on the roof."
Mm. It's like, we should have better experience as often as we encounter this thing. I'm gonna put him on the roof.
All right.
All right.
I'm being very careful to, not fall off. I'm sure with his enormous reach and my small stature, he can just set me up on the roof out the window.
You're going very fast, so I'll need either an athletics or an acrobatics to either like dig your claws in or to transition from being on the side to on top. With advantage, since Zerth has quite a bit of reach.
I
Give
do
me
now.
1 sec. I'm checking.
But as soon as you stick your head out, you would see it plain as day, quite a ways above you and in front of the train. Or like in front of your car, kind of near the front. Do you use your eye at all?
Yes.
All right, give me another perception check. As looking up towards it, you can see a handful of people on deck, kind of near the sides, readying a large harpoon gun, which has been kind of lowered out of a cutout in the center of the vessel. And as you use your arcane eye to kind of zoom in on the action itself, you can see that there's somebody with a telescope, kind of looking downwards, doing some surveillance, and they're slowly moving along the train until it seems that they're looking right at you.
I'm gonna give him a wave.
And they kind of blink. Telescope goes down, goes back up, goes back down, and it's silent, but you can kind of read their lips when they just kind of turn to the guy next to him and say, "Oh fuck."
I smile.
No, cut it out, cut it. We gotta go.
How?
No, we met.
Dova, what I'm gonna do is, as he throws me out, or sets me out, I'm going to turn my doppelganger's dagger into a a sickle,
All right.
and use it to like stab it into the train to get a better hold on it.
All right.
And essentially use it to climb out.
How
Gotcha.
far away is his
I'd say you'd
airship?
be able to manage to do it easily.
It's
It's about 1,000 feet away just by pure vertical and horizontal distance.
So just out of fireball distance.
Mm-hmm.
Dova, you
Quite a
missed
ways out of fireball distance.
And I hold up my my arm cannon toward them. Although I probably don't have the time to fire it just.
You can see that there is a accepted.
Nice.
All right.
You can see that that there's an argument breaking out on deck, Zerth, as people are starting to fight about whether they should actually continue on with this.
If they were smart, they wouldn't.
What's your passive intimidation, Zerth?
Passive
Advantage.
10. It's 10 plus your proficiency.
Yeah, it's 11.
It's 11.
But I got that nasty scar too, so I don't know how that
And a helmet, and you've met before, so.
I think.
the helmet now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his helmet.
She
Okay.
has-
I gave that to her as a proposal gift.
My passive intimidation is 14 if he wants to hold me out the side of the train.
Oh God, he's got the squirrel.
Well, they haven't met yet. They don't
No.
know the.
Yeah, but they've met
Yeah.
me.
But they can probably see me now.
Basically, who is that? What is that on the shoulder? Was that crazy kid we met before that grabbed our arrows? No, it's too fuzzy for that.
Yarrick, what's your passive perception?
14.
14. All right. You can see as you're kind of holding up your force cannon, the fairly heavy heavy contraption.
my firebolt. The arm cannon.
Oh yeah,
Essentially my firebolt spell, but I'm an artificer, so it's got to be mechanical.
yeah, just the kind of magical cannon sort of thing on your wrist. As you kind of lower it down, you're seeing that they're slowly kind of banking off to one direction, and the airship's kind of pulling them away. You're kind of looking up and just kind of thinking for a moment. And you look forward, and about 100 feet away and approaching within like the blink of an eye is a bridge at about your level.
I am small.
Duck
I squeeze.
now.
You've got one round.
I squeeze. Wait, no, this is easy. I hold tight to my sickle that's dug into the roof of the train, and I'm going to. Where is it? I'm going to cast Reduce on myself.
All right. Does it apply to the sickle as well, I assume?
I'm pretty sure I can I don't. Does it matter if it does? It'd probably be easier to hold on to if I do shrink it.
All right. As you shrink you can feel that the sickle is no longer kind of firmly wedged into the wood as it once was. So it kind of feels like it's wobbling and barely holding itself in by the time that you're actually under the bridge. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
I mean, it's less that it's wedged and more that it's like a hook.
Mm-hmm. It's still not the same size, so the kind of dynamics of that.
Well, that went about as well as I thought it would.
Zerth,
Yes.
give me a dexterity check.
Okay.
As you can see, with the bridge incoming, Yart kind of shrinks down into a much smaller, diminished size, and to kind of avoid the bridge, and you kind of pull in at the same time to avoid getting hit by one of the supports. And you look out again. He's not there anymore.
Oh, fuck.
See, you're asking the people for the wrong checks.
Dova. We got another
saw.
one.
I saw. Oh boy.
I don't have. No, I don't have message. So I pull myself in, but I don't see Yark anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you pulled in just for a second to avoid also getting smacked by one of the side supports for the bridge.
Hey, sir, what are you doing?
And when you look back out there, Yark is no longer attached to the top of the train.
Well, are we out of the cave now?
Yeah, it was just a bridge. It wasn't a cave.
Oh, bridge.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm going to. Where am I right now? I guess.
You, since you were quite small, you got caught in the wind. Give me a dexterity saving throw, just to see if you can catch back onto the train below you as it passes by.
Well, if we're not under the bridge anymore, I also release concentration, so I have a better range.
All right. Here's the thing.
Oh, okay. Tell me before. Ignore that roll and tell me what you're gonna.
Should I flip a coin for this?
High or low?
Ignore that roll and tell me what you're gonna say. I'll roll again if need to.
Remember, that roll could be worse.
All right, so
statistically, it'd be a lower chance of being.
This will influence whether you can actually release concentration on that reduce.
Really? Okay.
Is that something that you want? To be able to release and go back to normal size?
I mean, it would let me catch on a train better, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and tell me whether that was high or low.
I'll do high.
High?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Zer's gonna stick his head back in when Dusty says that. Well, I think we just lost the lizard.
But you're right there.
No, the other one. Oh, and wait. When we saw the airship, was the airship clearly running away after it noticed us?
Yeah.
Okay.
And after you looked out at it, people would kind of start looking out the windows, and they would see it too as it starts to puff away.
And I intimidated the airship of those asshats that's been after us.
Why? We could have punched them.
Well, they kind of saw me looking at them, and they just kind of noped out. So, 1 point for me on scaring a ship.
I mean, all right.
But
wait, where? Where did he go?
Rosalind. As you're kind of looking out there, you hear from just above you this sort of very quiet, sort of tinny, high pitched like screaming and hollering. You're not sure exactly where it's coming from.
I'll try and focus on it.
Kind of have an idea of where it ought to be. So you open the window, you could pull it down and look outside, and hanging on for dear life, about a foot tall, is Yark. A little sickle jammed into one of the rivets, holding the train together, and he is just getting battered and beat up by the wind, but he is barely holding on and just yelling.
Can I attempt to grab him?
Absolutely, you can just grab him and pull him in.
Okay.
Yark. Somewhere in that commotion, you're not exactly sure how, but you could have swore you dropped concentration on that reduce.
Interesting.
Oh, it's that thing like with Zerth.
But the opposite.
You're so tiny.
Pocket lizard.
So my size is tiny now, isn't it?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
He thinks to himself, I'm gonna pace back and forth for just a little bit, probably on the seat, and just be like,
Nah, I'm gonna put Yark in my tent.
I might need to learn some teleportation spells.
Do I see that Yark's inside now?
Yeah. His voice is a little bit higher than usual.
I'm gonna look at him because I saw what happened and just go, I'm having deja vu.
Yark, you're very small. Wow.
More so than usual, it seems.
Other than that, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty great. I survived death, so I feel like that's pretty good. As for all things,
You're very hardy for a kobold.
I've been through a lot of explosions. Also, cuts. You'd be surprised how much professional chef gets cut on
I'm gonna gently pat his head. I can see.
with like your finger.
Yeah.
It's gotta be his pinky talon.
What do we do?
Gosh, 1 foot tall. That's adorable.
Can I roll like an insight or like an intelligence check to see if I know what's going on, since I kind of went through the same thing?
Go ahead, but it's not hard to figure that out. He's definitely the same thing just happened to him. Technically, these are considered curses, so.
I assume you tried to release your spell and it did not work.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot with this spell.
We may have to put a ban on that spell from now on.
I just realized something.
I raise an eyebrow.
He jumps up to the table and starts eating his now enormous
Is that enormous what?
meal, the food.
Is that what you've realized?
I can save with his mouth full of food. I can save so much money on food.
Zerth's just gonna facepalm himself.
As Yark starts to talk about food, he realizes, wow, when I get my cotton candy next time, I could like wrap your entire head in it. In cotton candy. My God, it's possibilities.
I'm enjoying this greatly.
You have a very positive outlook.
I mean, do you know how many tight spaces I can get into now?
God, the horror!
Now I can fix that. He starts thinking to himself. Now I can fix that steam machine, the seafood steamer back at the old restaurant. Not even I could get my hands in that all those tight spaces.
I'm gonna look to Rosalind. Resilient little one, isn't he?
Rosalind?
I know I'm just at a loss of what to say.
Understood. I'm gonna look to Rosmus. Says no eating.
Yeah, gasps as soon as I start to sparkle. Think of the detail I can put on some cake. As he looks at his tiny hands.
He's just gonna look to the rest of the group and just go, so yeah, that airship with the undead were following us and they were gonna harpoon us. And
no, I think it was the other airship. Pirates.
It was the one with the pirates, the orc lady with a third arm.
It was the remember those pirates that attacked us and we completely trashed the train and everything? They were trying for a round 2. I smiled and waved. They ran away. Good guys.
Aryabor, who has very calmly been kind of smoking a pipe and blowing it out the open window nearby, just kind of nods and says, Is this like normal for you all to be kind of constantly in a sense of adventure?
More than you realize.
Yark immediately says, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in constant danger.
I just want to say that that's not normal.
Really? I'm gonna look.
Yes.
I'm gonna look towards everybody. It's like, I thought this was the normal for a group. I was never in part of a group, so I thought this was like part of it.
Well, I mean,
Clearly
for some,
confused.
but for most adventurers and such, you might get into some sort of a scrap with, you know, the undead or maybe some skeletons inside of a vault or like a tomb.
We've
But,
done that.
but otherwise, it's fairly calm sort of profession.
I was assumed all train rides came with danger.
Oh, it's far from normal to have any sort of event happen.
I'm
on
gonna
it.
do some calculations and say 100% of our train rides have had some sort of.
I look him dead in the eyes with a blank, like, confused face of like, what do you mean they're like not dangerous?
I have fired 2 bolts from my crossbow in anger in my entire career.
We flew up a train.
We tried to buy train tickets and were attacked by 3 assassins, one of which turned into water.
I pat my water pouch.
Oh, you still have my
yeah.
freaking cup.
And
Tsinil
yeah, we
at
still
this
have 'em.
point will be stumbling into where everyone else is, groaning a bit. He's still practically on his deathbed.
You had a long rest.
Oh, did
This
we?
is like the 3rd day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he never
Here,
applied
I'll
it.
give you a long rest. Oh god, it's all different. Okay. You know, it's all like different icons for that.
Well, he's still stumbling in. What's going on?
Those pirates tried attacking us again. I scared them away. It was a good day. But apparently, did you know, and he looked very seriously, that train rides are not supposed to be dangerous?
Really?
Yeah, I know. I
Right?
said the same thing.
That doesn't
I
sound
don't
right.
believe you.
But it's true.
Yeah, I'm rolling insight
He's
check on him.
freaking out.
Go ahead.
I'm afraid you're outnumbered 6-1 on this.
He's not trying to hide anything as far as you can tell.
Mm,
As far as you know, he believes he's telling the truth.
I mean, that's why first class costs so much, right? It's their show.
You're just gonna say the very first time we rode a train as a group, it got harpooned by an.
For real.
Same
That's
airship.
insane. Did it make the news?
What's news?
I don't
Well,
watch
like
the
newspapers and
I don't
tabloids
pay
and publications.
I don't pay attention to the news. It's filled with too much falsification now.
Right.
Did it actually make the newspaper?
You've never read it, so.
No.
But yeah, he's just kind of aside himself as to how like exciting your guys' life is.
I ended up in jail for eating a person once. Granted, that was my snack, and I am still disappointed in the service around here.
I was in jail with him. I don't remember why though.
You ate that you started eating from the hand.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Guilty by association.
Finger food, not, not withholding.
We're just gonna start like telling him tales of our adventures.
So, before that, after you tell him that you were in jail for eating a person, you look back and he's not in his seat, and you don't know where the hell he was.
Where'd he go?
Nobody saw. But like looking around for a sec, you say, "Oh, he moved like 5 rows back, as far away as he could."
They're trying to call over and
He's
say,
a coward.
they were already dead.
Yes.
That may be true, but I'm staying over here, okay?
I'm just gonna.
The
I'm just
wind
gonna be.
is better.
I'm gonna be perched on the the back of the seat, just looking over him like, "Why are you back here?"
He kind of jolts. He didn't see you. The wind was better back here.
There's no wind here.
I'm
The
gonna
window. What is what I said? Window.
I'm gonna struggle to
Wow.
climb up on the back of the seat.
Zerf's
Like
gonna,
you see the top. You see the top half of him pop up, and then like his feet scramble at the back, trying to pull himself up.
I'm just gonna pick up Yark and put him on my tent.
And I'm really gonna have to get used to being even smaller.
Zerf's gonna yell, "She's more dangerous than we are."
Okay. And he's still refusing to sit close to you guys for now.
Dova,
Yeah.
I take a sip of my enormous soda.
You're enormous.
Soda. Sorry, I must have cut out again.
But the bottle was on you at the time, was it not?
Not the first one I already opened. The second one in my bag, yeah.
All right. So, is this 5th edition? I think this is 3.5. Weight. About
My weight is 1
pounds.
quarter. You said my weight is what?
Oh yeah, it's not 5e. Okay.
Yeah, the weight is divided or multiplied by 4, and all other dimensions are.
Wait,
Halved,
the
right?
weight is applied by 4.
Yes, the if you're shrunk, it's divided by 4. If you grow, it's multiplied by
Multiplied by what?
4.
Gotcha.
My weight may not be that if it's multiplied by 4.
There you go.
We're talking about encumbrance, sir.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Wait, my stats are still the same though. Shouldn't my strength still be?
We're getting guess now we're gonna start getting into did your stuff in the bag of holding also shrink?
Oh,
I think they would assume your new scale.
Oh man, that's not good. For a few things at least.
Yeah, like what?
Warforged components and other scrap metal.
We'll say if it was part of another person's body, then it would stay the same size. Stay the same size.
My rope, my 600 feet of rope.
That's-
Sorry.
So Yark,
My 300 feet of string.
Yark, your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. Then for each size, for a tiny creature, half the weight.
Oh man, so it will have to be halved, or everything will have to be shrunken.
or just inside your bag.
Jaffer,
I was also carrying a bunch of stuff.
You know, I don't think that the stuff inside the bag of holding would shrink. It's not actually on his person. Now, as far as getting it back out of the bag of holding...
That would be another issue.
Yeah, because now the bag of holding itself would shrink.
Oh
But
no.
You would have to turn it inside out.
the pocket dimension, you know, that wasn't technically on his person.
Dova.
Yeah.
Though it is up to Dova.
With a certain amount of sadness,
Also,
I'm
there's
going
an
to
influence.
activate my folding
You're folding what?
boat.
It's it looks like a very large model ship.
I'm going to sit in it. A little bit sad.
It fits on the table.
Can we make little origami wings for it with paper and throw it along?
Hold on, wait. It shouldn't be that small, is it? I think. Give me a sec.
It'll be a bit larger, but it barely fit on like the table.
Okay, so
Be like the size of a canoe.
No, the small one is 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep. So it'd be 5 feet long, 2 feet wide, and
Are you sorry? Are you still talking right now? Because you cut off a little.
no, but you got my measurements right.
I think so. Yeah.
It would be 5 foot long, 2 feet wide, 1 foot deep. The small one would be.
Mm-hmm. It would still be usable, but the
Not by
smallest form would be pretty minuscule.
I was about to say, not by everyone else, though.
Yeah. You put the larger form and it'd still be useful. Anyways,
Yes.
for
still-
gameplay
I'm
purposes,
still all
it
for
is considered a curse. So if you want to get it removed, you can.
I'm still all for this, though.
All right.
I'm going to pretend I don't know that... Yark doesn't know it's a curse. He's just kind of going along with it for now.
All right.
My folding model ship.
It's like one of the ships that you see like at Legoland, like for the kids to drive around in. Little tiny boats,
Yeah, I know you're
like a
talking
jet
about.
ski size. Anyway, so the rest of the train journey goes by fairly uneventfully, except when you drink a little bit too much of the kvass at one time. The kind of yeasty, nice kind of bread, kind of funky bread flavor, kind of filling your gut, but it's very, very carbonated, and that combined with your small size just makes you kind of inflate and become a little bit more round. But that's easily kind of burped out.
He says, neat, and takes out a small notepad and writes a few notes.
It almost looked comical, as during one of the more aggressive turns, the curves as it makes as it heads towards Haythril to the. You're kind of sitting on top of the little table. You're kind of writing on your notepad. You place it down, and you reach for the soda, and you kind of roll just a little bit. You're kind of scrambling to remain upright before, as all the kind of forces just kind of push you over, and your little more rotund than usual body just kind of rolls off the side of the table.
He plops onto the floor. And with that plop comes out the burp.
And you come back up looking much more normal.
This is great. I'm enjoying this.
All right, so disembarking in Haythril, you'll follow Aryabor towards a little carriage shop where he talks a little bit with the owner, presents him with a little letter, and soon afterwards, you guys are given a fairly plain carriage, or not a carriage, a wagon, with a canvas top and 2 draft horses that Aryabor seems to be fairly proficient in handling. As you head off on the road leading west from Haythril.
Hey Yark, I've
On
got
the
this
road.
funny idea. You think we could turn this into like a little mansion inside?
It's pretty spacious in there.
What's he talking about?
A wagon.
I feel like that'd be really neat. It's like a portable. I wonder what sorts of hijinks you could get up to in that kind of place.
I know.
Me personally,
it
I would
seems like
prefer
fun.
like a painting of a mansion.
Just a painting? That's boring.
We're not going into Dark Souls territory. Painted.
No, you don't remember that painting of the mansion we saw?
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago.
I'm trying to remember.
It was during the auction.
Yep. I remember.
I think
the
so.
very first auction, I was bidder number 28. That will be important in 3 years.
Or it comes up as like a piece of random like art loot, and I get really angry because you guys didn't recognize it.
Then we find it, and then it has the number 28 just like cut into it with a knife.
Go into it like a Mario level, and it's just everything's 28. 28 rows of hedges leading up to the 28 windows.
That become Courier 28.
How long have we been on this train?
Really hates me.
About 4 days. And now you're off the train and on a wagon. With about a week left to go, and he looks the driver Aryabor looks very natural up there with his straw hat that he bought in the town, as well as a freshly packed pipe.
I was gonna say, is he chewing on some tweed?
No, he's smoking his pipe.
Okay.
Very, very large, kind of gooseneck pipe.
To fit inside this cage, I'm curled up on the floor.
All right.
Or
You
cart.
can stick your head out either way.
It's out of the back, smoking a cigar.
Gotcha.
What we do actually is we just get a flat piece of wood and stick wheels on the side of it and tie it to the back of the cart and just put Zerf on it like a cart, like extra.
I'm okay with that because I don't think he'll, because of how big he is and the size of this cart. I don't think anybody else will really fit in this. So yeah, he'll be dragged along the back. I feel like luggage.
Yark is plopped on his head while I'm working on my now much smaller.
I hear random explosions, but pay it no mind.
Little firecrackers.
Oh, Dova.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm using extra material to make it the normal size that it was.
Gotcha. So it's about the size of like a full oven deep.
Perfect. It makes it much easier to get all the teeny tiny detail work.
Yeah.
Now you can fit in that oven.
Inun, what were you doing?
It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay. A few days passed by. As you guys start working through some of the rations that have been kind of placed with the carriage, and in the midst of the 5th day on the trail, which is tremendously boring. The weather has been stable. It's been nice. Temperature has been fairly good for how, this region. It's getting a little bit chilly at night, getting down fairly far below freezing. But the daytime is kind of sunny and bright enough that you aren't ending up too cold during the day. Just not been seeing much. You've seen a few travelers heading either way, but they really don't seem to be keen on talking to you. So by about this point, depending on how well you can entertain yourself, you are very bored.
Stova, do you know what this means?
What?
It's been a work week. My oven's
Your oven is almost done.
Okay.
You are looking for one piece.
What's the piece?
You've been scouring through your own stores. You can't find it. You've been scouring through everybody else's bags as you basically sneak into them and just try to find this little one piece that you're missing. You know what it should look like.
Which cotton candy has just been quietly accumulating?
Are you taking it out of the box?
Yes, he is.
As soon
Kinda
as
like-
you, whenever you, there's only like a fixed amount that can exist at the same time.
Curses.
So whenever you take it out and kind of stockpile it outside, it doesn't regenerate inside the box.
No. Oh man, I have no choice but to eat this, but I could have made a blanket of cotton candy for Yark.
I mean, you can do it every night, but you just have to. You can't eat any of it.
Sure.
Tsinil, along the way, is gonna go hunting here and there throughout the days.
All right. Go ahead and give me a survival check. Oh, I suppose you can use your. Oh yeah.
And there's also
So, at the 5th day, the pace is kind of slowed down a considerable bit as you go out hunting for some fresh food. And with that, I'm guessing you're using your bow. You see a
bow and DeSoto, you know.
DeSoto tracks down a large animal, and as soon as you get a viewing of it through some trees, you slowly and carefully bring your bow up, hold your breath, slowly draw it, take aim, and release. The arrow flies true, striking what looks to be an elk. Directly in its vital spot, right behind the front legs, as it bolts. And you would know this as an accomplished hunter that it's dead, but it just doesn't know it yet. As it uses the last of its energy to kind of make one final dash at escape, it goes beyond the forest and into a small clearing. You know it doesn't have very long to go, so you just kind of leisurely leave your spot, put your bow back on, and start heading towards there when you hear this sound of almost like a bear trap. That sort of sound of metal under tension being released and just kind of slamming shut, but magnified to be much, much louder and more grindy. As you kind of leave the forest, look into the clearing, you can see that it's a roughly circular clearing with a little path that leads towards the road that your compatriots are kind of slowly plodding away at. But you can see in the middle of this clearing is basically a bloody smear with chunks and very large chunks of almost steaming bits of viscera of what is clearly the animal that you had just hit with the bow. It's about 100 feet away, and you don't see any sign, any additional movement, not even insects.
Tsinil will frown and stepping back a little bit more, he's going to draw another arrow and shoot it into the middle of the clearing.
All right. As it buries itself into the ground, kind of wobbling a little bit. Nothing.
And I see nothing in the sky or anything.
Looking up, you don't really see anything. And looking around, you don't really see anything either. It's just this somewhat now feeling much more unnatural than the surrounding forest, this clearing. And looking down at the ground, you see... Actually, give me a perception check. Or survival.
They're both the same, so...
Looking down at the dirt, you can see a few little cuts and disturbances in the grass. Like it was kind of heaved up and then placed back down. It looks to be one distinct spot of that kind of near the center of the clearing.
What do I have? I got a whole bunch of random tools and other stuff. He's gonna pull out one of his hand axes and stay as far back as he can. He's gonna kind of dig at that spot carefully.
So you're heading into the actual clearing?
No. Sorry. The edge where you said it looked like it was torn up.
Oh, that was near the center of the clearing. Sorry.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit that spot with my bow, right?
Yep.
My curiosity is burning, but my sense of desire to survive says stay far away. Yes, preservation says stay far, far away. Oh, hey, that'll help my curiosity, possibly. Some influence.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers,
Alright,
let
so.
us adventure.
As you're kind of staring at this and kind of torn between staying here and kind of running off to catch back up with your party, you hear a brief kind of flutter of wings just above you as a rather large-looking crow kind of makes a few circles above the clearing before making its way downwards to have a meal. And as it kind of perches on one of the cooling chunks of meat, it kind of pecks down briefly and kind of pulls away a bit, swallows it, and then kind of backs its head and kind of pecks again. And at that moment, the earth erupts around it. The crow just disappears in this violent rush of motion, as what appears to be a bit of rusted metal attached to a large sort of stone column. Not necessarily a column, more like an appendage, just lashes out, just instantly killing it. And you can see a little brief little puff of feathers. But as soon as it disappears, it's back to normal. The earth around it is a little bit more disturbed than it was before, but no more motion.
So what happened? Was it like a bear trap looking thing? I'm just having trouble visualizing.
It looked like the ground around it came up and just macerated it.
It did what to it though?
Macerated it.
Okay, good.
What'd you think I said?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not messing with this. Tsinil will move to catch up with the wagon.
Flashbacks to the morn.
Would you inform your compatriots?
Yes, and he would avoid any clearings.
All right.
Just in case there are more. At least, you know, he's hoping that they don't exist in amongst the trees as well.
Uh-oh.
We should keep an eye out then.
The server is giving a Windows update, but I'm just gonna skip that. Look, with me, I'm a hacker, man. I know how to say no.
I know buttons.
Yeah, I know how to click. All right, so. Sorry?
I was just gonna ask if anyone wanted to play Knuckles.
How do you play Knuckle?
You throw Knuckles on the ground and they arrange themselves in a pack.
Oh, like Knuckle dice.
Yeah,
Ah. Does anyone have any Knuckle dice?
I do.
I have engraved dice.
I have a rock that looks like a skull.
I have charlatan's dice.
How does one play Knuckles?
You have to
Is it an
run.
actual-
You have to. It's like the pirate game.
Liar's
of
dice.
Yeah, it's like Liar's Dice.
I need to learn how to play that because it's excellent in character game. Like a fantastic in character game.
So it's like we could say it's like roll a d6 in the GM tower, and then the other person has to guess it, and the GM can then reveal if they got it right or not, or got it close. Or actually, it's 4d6, isn't it? Yeah, it's 4d6.
I'm gonna learn it in the off
Oh
time.
man,
What?
this game. There was there's an app I used to play all the time. It was like this adventure game. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like a text-based adventure thing, and it was super cool. And they had this game of dice in it, and I think it's the exact same thing as Liar's Dice, where like you bid higher and higher, and then like you say, you call them out when they when they bid too high. I don't know. I have to look it back up again, but it was a lot of fun. It could totally be done. And
What is going on back, like behind you? Yark?
Funny Overwatch video with excellent editing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I can hold push to talk so you guys can hear a little better.
No, thank you.
Okay,
Why are you watching that while we're playing?
I'm not.
It's not him,
Dragon
it's-
is.
Yeah. You just throwing something at him for me?
So I'm gonna keep eyes out for mysterious traps that mutilate corpses now.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nova,
what-
did you ever
waste of a good corpse.
I know, right?
expand on what that last item I needed was?
That was actually something that kind of tied into that trap back there, but never mind. So
Huh? Hold on.
you're still
No.
looking for it. You'll still have another chance to find something that'll fit that spot. Don't you worry.
What is it that I'm looking for?
You're not sure. It's something that's kind of clawing at your mind. Your little your tinkerer's sense.
You'll know it when you see it.
Exactly. But it's small. It's about the size of maybe a puzzle piece. Not an actual puzzle piece because we already did that plot in the last game.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already touched on that. But
It's actually the spring from a mechanical pencil.
Yeah.
Specifically, a mechanical pencil.
A number, a finite 0.5 mechanical point pencil.
Yeah,
as you pull off the main road, about a day later, and it's kind of faintly sleeting right now. What's the date? 1, 2,
It's Marten.
5. It's getting very close to.
It's
Midwinter's
Marten
Night.
Day.
I'm gonna
Actually,
cast
it's,
Fireball on Sinnoh.
I am going to skin the next mark.
You know, technically,
Why?
if we went by the IRL calendar, it would be Christmas today.
No, it's Mario Day. Come on, everyone, get it right, please.
No, it's Marten.
No, it's Mar, and then the 1 is an I, and the 0 is an O. It's Mario Day.
No.
But
It's definitely Marten
According-
Day.
Long
According to
Shadow,
my-
sorry.
according to my oh, it is the 25th. Okay, why is there a red square around the 14th?
Because that's the one you're clicked on right now.
But I didn't click on anything.
Well, it used to be that, but I set it to the 25th now. So that's probably why.
Okay, so we're in the 25th vault. Deus Vault.
I think we missed an important holiday for Zerth.
Did we?
Yeah. His deity actually has a special day.
Really?
Yeah.
What day was it?
I think it's during this month. I had it in my notes, but God knows it's gonna take me a week to go through these notes.
I mean, how about it be happening during the long shadows? I mean, that's kind of a time that's been known to have a lot of kind of dark things happening with it.
Yeah, there was. I think Long Shadows was one of them, and then she had an actual day.
Let me see.
It's in the Echoes of Eberron book.
It's in the actual book. Okay, it's not showing on this one that I'm looking at right.
Damn, I can't add my own notes to the calendar. That's down.
It's a little bit annoying.
Don't know what happened to it. Okay.
I was gonna just add Rosalind's birthday onto the calendar.
I'll look into it, Dova, and I'll come back to you with that, so we're not taking up too much time.
All right. But yeah, it is the 25th of Vault. As you guys finally reach your destination. If you look at the map, you'll kind of get an idea of where you are. As you pass by, you can see a large kind of decrepit fortress, just kind of on the horizon. As Aryabor kind of points his thumb over to it, saying, "If you've never been to it, that's the Black Pit Fortress over there. Since it's so close to the road, it's been kind of picked over by every archaeological team that there is. I'm sure that there's still stuff below the surface, but that's not what we're here for."
No. I assume we're here for your object and whatever else we can carry out.
Precisely.
Rosalind just looks like she just has a look in her eyes like she's wondering how hard she'd have to hit the wall before it would
Forward what?
before it would break. Rosalind would make an excellent siege attacker.
Go through the wall, not around it.
Yeah, why are we trying to break through this heavily guarded door when we could just go straight through the wall? And shout, "Oh yeah," like the Kool-Aid man.
Knuckles are sadly filled with nerves. Which,
Not with my attitude, they aren't. Rosalind will just intimidate herself to feel no pain.
Alright, so Dove, I have a quick question. It's somewhat.
Okay.
How big was the pseudo dragon again?
as you reach into your bag of holding or would it be in the bag of holding?
No, it
Maybe.
was still clipped to my side, but I'm guessing because it's another creature, it wouldn't shrink along with me.
As
So it's just like
you open up
this
the
big-
box, which is now your size.
No, it's the little like carrying thing I
It
made.
is still the same size ratio. So it shrunk. But opening up, the pseudo dragon inside almost spills out. As it kind of just uncoils limply. You can tell it's still alive, but it was kind of squashed up and just coiled up inside there.
Okay, so he is still the same size.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
He's about the size of a large ferret to you.
I quickly get to work on making a bigger carrying room.
All right. You can fairly
You're not
easily
gonna
just
ride
kinda
the
add on
pseudo
to it.
dragon, are you?
Wait, so he's the size of a large ferret?
Actually, no. It'd be about the size of like a dachshund for you.
So he's extremely tiny, like a few inches long.
Well, he's longer. But I'm talking about like.
I believe that pseudo dragons are
girth-wise.
about a foot long, roughly. They are
they're
tiny
about
size.
to coil around a normal person's hand.
So it's not big enough for you to ride.
No, not that big. Enough to maybe slow your fall if it were hibernating.
Well, he's also super young.
It's true.
It's super
Either way.
young, then it's even tinier.
Well, if he's a foot long, then he's as big as I am.
So, let's continuing on. Aryabor kind of leads the carriage, or not the carriage, the wagon, on a kind of steep, winding, unmaintained trail that he finds after spending quite a while consulting a very old, wrinkled map. As the cart kind of creaks and trundles upwards, it starts to kind of rain a little bit, but the rain itself is fairly frozen. So halfway through, it changes to a kind of a wet sleet, kind of pelting you whenever or wherever you have exposed skin. Aryabor is already bundled up with some spare rags and blankets. But about
Tsinil's plenty
half
comfortable
hour-
in this
sorry?
weather.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wasn't, I mean, he's got his bearskin cloak, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of you are really hit too hard by this, as either you can bundle up or create magical heat. Few hours into
Inude's
this,
Inude's just relegated to being a personal space heater for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has his cartography set out, and he's mapping where they're going.
All right.
Then he has his three tails ignited, just kind of low, so I'm not catching the tent on fire, the wagon on fire.
And it is a canvas-covered tent. Just to make sure that that's clarified.
Yeah.
It's about 3 hours of traveling on this very bumpy, kind of craggy road before you kind of round a little corner and you see a tremendous, almost as if one of these mountain peaks in front of you had been completely just wiped flat. It looks fairly natural, but it is still kind of a sight to behold, as it provides this very flat building area amongst these intensely kind of steep and sharp, rocky peaks. But the cart kind of pulls onto this large flat area, about maybe a quarter of a mile on any side. On the in this kind of field, the ground is kind of this very coarse pebble or gravel. Give me a sec, I gotta yawn. Fighting that back for a
Sleepy
while.
bird.
There goes all these notes.
Yeah, all this reading. Big thinking. But you can see kind of nestled against one of the walls as it returns to being a kind of very steep mountainside. There's a frozen waterfall with a small little pool that looks to be frozen solid. It's definitely below freezing here. It's about -10 Celsius, so about 20 Fahrenheit. No, that's not right. About 15 Fahrenheit. So pretty frigid, especially with the wind. But this kind of plain is fairly featureless. There's a long dead, dried out tree kind of clinging to the rocks here. There looks to be a single skull from what looks to be a mountain goat. But he's kind of turning his map over, saying, "Well, I think this is going to be as close as we're going to get.
We got some.
But if
new,
I had my money, it's going to be something with that water. Has to be."
We got some new art.
Oh, really?
It's Yark getting railroaded.
And where? Oh, Discord. Holy, that's good.
That
I
is
know,
good.
right?
Holy crap!
I want
Getting
to
that
examine-
flatness right is hard.
Yes, it's so well done.
I want to
Although-
examine that goat skull.
Power Stone is a Toon Dragon, so he definitely has some experience.
That's true. So, looking at the skull, could you give me an investigation check? Investigation or survival?
Well, I'm better at survival.
It's in one piece. It's bleached. You can't really find any of the rest of the skeleton there. So there's really not much to go by.
Hey, Noon, this is more your specialty.
All right, I'll head over.
All right.
Pop out and have a look. Oh, right.
It's you know for a fact it is definitely a mountain goat. One that is native to this area.
And quite dead.
Yeah, it's real dead. You could probably replace like the head on one of your skeletons with this, and it would look pretty metal.
I was actually gonna ask.
I was about to ask. This is just sun bleached, right? There's no flesh or anything, because
No.
Noon's about to snatch this and throw it in the bag of bones.
Yeah, no, this is prime.
I was actually gonna ask if Yark could like fasten it to the to my intimidating helm.
That
No,
would
this
look
is
so
a
cool.
Noon's time.
That looked
This is
pretty.
a Noon's
That
time
looked
right
pretty
now.
radical. No, yeah, no, it's already in the bag.
You guys have to compete for this one.
That I found it first, so I'm
I
not gonna
bought the
relinquish
damn
it.
helmet you're wearing. I get to keep this.
Extreme rock paper.
Party
I'll
falls
arm-
apart over a single goat skull.
I'll arm wrestle you.
Chat quick. Hashtag Team Anoon. Hashtag Team Safanara.
That's how
Jeez,
the
Yark,
TP
pronounce
I'm
my
on
name
the
right.
Noon side.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going up with Rosalind.
I'm going with Rosalind too, because that would look awesome on a hill.
I mean, I
You
already put
could
the skull
do-
in my bag.
Yeah, it's in Inun's bag at the moment. He was the first one who'd said he'd put it in the bag.
But I was literally holding it.
What, you guys want to do rock paper scissors?
Yeah, do extreme rock paper scissors. Let's.
All right, so roll 1d4 in the tower. Or actually, roll 1d4. So the sequentially higher number will win. But if it's in the other direction, then you lose. So a 1 will lose to a 2, but it'll beat a 3. If you roll a 4, just re-roll. Not in the tower, sorry. Just out in the open. Alright, so Rosalind wins that one. 2 out of 3.
Damn, I saw the power behind that roll.
And it's best 2 out of 3, I assume. Tie. Oh my god, can you guys stop rolling 3s? Tie. Reroll in and
It's like real life.
Yeah, I was about to say this is just like our real life.
Alright, Rosalind wins the second one.
No, Rosalind's got to reroll.
Oh yeah, Rosalind's got to reroll, sorry. Reroll.
The most.
Reroll. Both of you reroll, that's a tie.
This is the most intense ever.
It really is. Reroll.
The pebble. Oh my god.
Both of you. Tied again.
Okay, while they're all,
Cease.
while the two of them are locked in this eternal tie, Tsinil's just gonna walk up and pull the
All right.
skull off.
Rosalind won 2 out of 3.
Neat.
That could have been done in 4 rolls total.
Yeah, no.
That turned into what? 20?
Mm-hmm.
Good god.
All right, Tova, you saw my message earlier, right?
I think so. What was the message? Could you resend it? Was it in Discord or was it?
It was in
Fancy?
It was in Fancy.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it might have been swept away by the dice roll.
It's about this point where none of you really realize where it is. As you kind of look around.
I was about to call out for Yark. Hey Yark, could you fix this to my helmet? Yark? Yark?
You respond, Yark?
He's napping.
All right. Zerth, you'd feel a tiny little tickling sensation on your neck.
No, it wasn't. It was a new.
It was a Noon's robes?
Who has robes here?
Zerth technically has robes.
Yeah,
But Zerth has vestments.
Zerth is also not warm. He's a lizard.
That's true, but Inu, you would notice for sure. He's a little bit too big to sneak that off, as he is kind of bundled up under your shoulder or under your robes near your shoulder.
I'll remove him.
All right.
I wake up slowly, and then
cold.
And then shiver. Oh, why'd you do that?
I'll close up my bag and try to find what's his name.
Ariabor?
Yeah.
You guys want to know how to spell that, by the way?
Yes.
Yes, so I can misspell it later.
Aiureabor.
Does he want a few more vowels?
Technically, he has all of them.
He doesn't need any more vowels.
No, he doesn't need any more. All of them. Actually, no, he has all of the vowels in his name somewhere.
And copies of a few of them.
Yeah, including Y.
Were you just drinking coffee one day? It's like, what name can I come up with that uses every vowel?
And then the coffee just goes down the wrong hole and he just sneezes out.
Oh, my keyboard's broken, but look at that word.
So, I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent. Family Guy. I know probably not a lot of people watch it.
Family Guy
But,
funny moments 500.
Yeah, exactly. There was one episode where they went back in time and stopped a 9/11, and they were announcing it on the news, and the guy was like, "Who stopped the plane jacking from? Holy shit, that's a lot of vowels." he's like Al Qaeda. I just love how fluidly he goes into that. Anyway,
Are we near this crypt?
You're not sure. Oh, he's looking at his map and kind of folds it up and says, "Yeah." Looks around. I bet you it's got something to do with that waterfall, or like that pool.
When has anything ever been behind a waterfall?
Now's the time to find out.
Is it a frozen waterfall by any chance?
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I found this, it was a ferry behind a waterfall, and I tossed in my boomerang into her little pool that she was in, and it turned red.
Really?
Yeah.
Like with blood? Did you hit her?
Oh, no. It just, the boomerang itself turned red.
Do you still have that boomerang? Is it the only reason is that, or the only difference? It's red?
No, I had to sell it off, but it was just, yeah, nothing else was
Just
different.
red.
It just turned red.
Huh.
It was blue before.
Huh.
I don't get the reference, and at this point, I'm too afraid to ask.
I think it's
Zelda:
Legend of
A
Zelda.
I think
Link
it's
to
Legend
the
of Zelda.
Past.
I didn't play that. I don't know. Anyways.
I played that one, but I don't remember it.
I'm gonna smash this waterfall. It looked at me funny.
All right. As you head on over to it, the ice kind of creaks and cracks very, very quietly. You kind of look up for it, look up at it, remove your hammer from its little belt loop. Kind of give a few practice swings, because you've got all the time in the world. You might as well. Almost like a baseball, or holding a baseball bat, and you wind up. Go ahead and roll to attack. I believe that's adamantium, correct?
It's magical.
Magical. All right. Somebody's weapon's adamantine.
I don't think anyone's weapons adamantine. Like
Rock's
adamantine weapons
weapon
are.
was.
Yeah, I don't.
I've got adamantine
weapons
arrows.
are generally expensive. How?
I just have all sorts of arrows. But I
Lots
need
of
explosive ones.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
Okay.
All right, not. Actually, you know what? You would just hit it. Go ahead and roll damage, Rosalind. A gigantic, just spray of powderized ice, of just snow and mist, just explodes as a sizable crack starts to form along the waterfall, traveling upwards as just the force of the blow creates quite a bit of internal forces and stress. A large kind of V-shaped opening opens up just in front of you from all the ice that just kind of cracks and forms a very large, cold pile. It stops at that point, but you can still hear it kind of faintly creaking above you. The waterfall itself is fairly tall, coming out of the rocks about 100 feet above your head. And it forms just this kind of curtain about 50 feet across.
I put my my hand above my eyes and just sort of try and peer in through the mist.
All right, go ahead and give me your perception check. Since it is dark in there. Do you have dark vision?
No, I don't.
All right.
Why'd I roll that twice?
I don't know, but it's the same result, so whatever.
Yeah.
So, peering in and squinting, you see interior like a sort of a cavern. It looks fairly natural. There's the pool kind of inside the waterfall itself. There's like a pool outside and like a pool inside. You're looking in, and you see something in there. It looks to be kind of a door shape. Maybe it leads back into a hallway of some sort. But it's pitch black, so you can't really tell if it's a door that's been opened or if it's like a hallway or what.
Hey, Yark, do you have your floating light?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna take out my all my
Your drift globe?
Yeah.
Alright. Kind of starts lighting up the area. And, it's about 7 p.m. right now, so it's starting to get dark. And you can see inwards, and you can definitely see that on like the far shore, this like little cave lake that's been completely frozen solid is in fact a passageway leading deeper. You can see Aryaborg just to the side, peering through the large gap in the ice. Just says, "Guess I was right."
Yes.
I guess you were right.
Yeah. I do have a confession to make. This is the first time I've seen something behind.
I'm just gonna look at him.
I'm saying this is like the only place it could be in this area. Because I mean, seriously, I put it here. I totally put it here.
I start laughing.
Should we stick something in the gap to make sure that the it doesn't just get covered up again?
In like the ice?
Yeah, the gap I made in the waterfall.
I suppose we could, but I think if it all falls down, then we can just climb over the pile.
I could take care of the waterfall and the pile.
I guess. All right, who's up? Who's up for running into a dank secret passageway at the back of a frozen wharf? And Rosalind just leaves before anyone even answers.
Jack says, "Yes."
I'm right behind her.
As you guys go into the cave area, what is your guys' passive perception?
It's slightly better than last time. It's a 14.
14?
16. 16 for Tsinil, 14 for DeSoda.
Tsinil, you are the only one who spots this. As you see down inside the crystal clear frozen ice of this little pond, there's what looks to be a humanoid shape down at the bottom. You can barely see it, and it's kind of fuzzy through about 3 feet of ice. But you can see it just kind of laying on the bottom, kind of curled up a little bit.
I thought you were going to say there's an aboleth in there.
Tsinil will point it out to the rest of the group.
All right. Yeah, you guys would all see it, and looks to be but you can't really tell because it's kind of covered up by whatever clothing it was wearing.
All right, I'm gonna climb up on Zerth, and I'm gonna sneak up and climb up on him so I can actually see and not be.
All right.
Hey, Inun, is that dead? I'll point.
Dead.
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Well, it's not moving. It's below about 3 feet of solid ice, and it looks to be stuck in the ice too.
What is this?
It's a kind of a humanoid shape down at the bottom of kind of a small cavern pond.
That doesn't mean it's dead.
As far as you can tell from here, it looks to be dead.
I'm gonna try to animate it.
Do you have to be able to touch it?
I don't think it's. Let me see.
No, it's skeleton.
10 feet.
It's
10 feet. So yeah, you would technically be able to.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get Gaster out of the bag and then cast it, so I reassert control over him as well.
All right. So you successfully assert control and reanimate both Gaster and the skeleton down there, which responds readily. And nothing seems to happen. You can feel that you've definitely reanimated him, but yeah, he's not moving at all. And kind of tapping into your own sort of control, he's stuck. He's stuck pretty damn good.
Should I Rosalind smash?
I mean, I can melt pretty good.
That would take a long time. This is a lot of ice.
Rosalind smash.
Rosalind smash it is. And I bring out both hammers. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I accidentally break him a little bit, and you just like fix him.
As you step onto the ice and smash down once with your hammer, the all of the ice waterfall that's still kind of partially above you kind of creaks and groans a little bit. As the very small, unimpressive chip that you've caused in the ice, just kind of the little dislodged piece kind of skitters across the smooth surface. So you can probably get at this, but you run the ever increasing risk of collapsing the entire waterfall on yourself.
You seem to underestimate the power to, if I ignore it, it won't happen.
Are you sure?
Dangerous words have just been spoken.
Hey, Zerf.
Yes.
Would you part with a single fireball?
For you, anything.
And I hop off the pond.
I'm gonna cast fireball.
All right, where?
Where she had me pointing. She's gonna guide the missile of Gatorness.
All right, where were you pointing, Rosalind?
At the small crack in the pond that I just made.
All right. So as the fireball is just kind of lobbed out, the actual kind of concussive force isn't too great, but there's enough of it that kind of spreads out that you hear a very distinct crack in both the ice beneath, as it's kind of cleared out a little bit of a crater. There's a little bit of melting going on, but it's just so cold and there's so much of it that it's not doing too much. But there's a tremendous kind of avalanche of cracks above you and around you as the waterfall seems to be falling apart.
Is it liquid water or chunky water?
It is the crunchy water.
The crunchy water. Ooh, so control water would not work.
I don't think so. It might. I don't think it allows for control of ice.
Freestanding water.
Yeah. Then it would not.
Maybe.
You reckon you have a few seconds to get out of the way before the ice starts to fully collapse and start falling on you all.
Okay, everyone inside.
Mm-hmm. Anybody lagging behind, I pull them with me.
All right.
I hang on to your shoulder for dear life.
I'm sorry, Noon. I tried to get it out.
As you
It's fun.
as you kind of all rush your way into the path the passage, the waterfall outside starts to collapse in earnest, and just almost deafens you with a rush of cracking, exploding ice. Somewhere in it, you definitely feel your construct be hurt quite a bit. And as the dust, the kind of powdery snow settles, you see that a tremendous mountain of ice is formed just outside. You can definitely climb over it, so you're not really trapped in here. But you can hear the ice kind of settling and still settling. You can still hear a little bit of a crunching sound somewhere within it as ice kind of finds its new home. But about 20 seconds later, you see like a skeletal arm connected to like just the upper half of a skeleton's torso kind of crawl its way out. The skull just heavily dented, like the entire top of it just crushed. It's basically the shoulders with only one arm and the skull that crawls its way out. Still technically functional.
Well, hello there. I'm impressed.
It kind of tumbles over the little foothills of the mountain of ice.
I guess this one's a keeper then.
Do I see the leg anywhere around, or is that just trapped under the ice?
The rest of him is trapped under the ice.
I'll look at him and go, oh, we'll fix you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's spare parts around here.
He's all right.
You got hobgoblin legs.
He's missing the
I'm
left.
on.
He's missing everything but his right arm. Get it, guys? Laugh, laugh. Sorry.
But however, with what Dude said, I'm now like, if anybody played the Divinity 2 Ego Draconis or the Dragon Knight Saga, the single player, not Original Sin 2, it was a really old game by Larian. One thing you could do during your campaign, once you got access to the Dragon Tower, was you could make your own necrotic creature by collecting body parts of various animals and people, and having your necromancer stitch them together into a summonable creature that can fight for you. I'm not just imagining a Noon getting his like own tower and just putting it in the middle of a cauldron and stitching it together.
Horrendous spider that's just legs.
And we just hear cackling from the tower. It's alive! It's alive!
Start making my own eldritch things that the other ones are like, ugh, get that away from me.
It's like a skull that uses a bunch of like finger bones as like spider legs.
Don't give him ideas.
Finger bones and knuckle bones are so versatile. Little joints, you can use them very flexible, like a snake spine.
I'll just replace the very outer digits on the hands with teeth.
Oh, I don't like that.
So
I don't
every
like that at
scratch
all.
are freaking teeth.
Oh.
Or specifically every joint in the body, not the rest of it, just the joints.
I mean, it would probably be pretty efficient if I just like broke one of their arms and used that bone splint as a freaking spear.
I don't know about that. I don't like that.
Jab it into him, freaking Alex Mercer style.
You've gotta like design one that has like a bone cannon. It can like fire its finger bones into people.
Oh no, it'll be like finger guns, but it actually shoots bone.
Yeah.
Like bada bing, and it's really gross.
And they
does
make
it have to say that?
They make really awkward finger gun emotes when they do it. Like, it's really cringy.
No, because I was just thinking, like, back in the day when apps used to have, like, a lot of soundboards, and there were a lot of guns ones where it's like hot fires. Remember my friend had one that was just a finger gun that had, like, this, I don't know, mafia kind of accent that just goes bada bing, and it was the stupidest thing I remember. And now that's the only thing that comes to mind when I think of finger guns.
Was it Baba Bing or Bada Booey?
Bada booey.
Baba Booey.
Anyway, let's charge onwards into this clearly
Not trapped.
danger-free cavern.
As you continue onward, this kind of passageway starts to lead down and down and down.
Is it like a spiral or just a slant downwards?
Spiral. So it goes down for quite a while.
What is it with this land and spirals?
I don't know.
It just works, you know.
Please tell me,
Spiral staircases are good in Siege.
please tell me there's not a like a fire room waiting for us down there.
You're actually going down the chimney.
Well, like remember, like 2 days after she joined them, they got caught in a fire trap.
Oh right, that yeah.
Yeah.
For that.
That's why she says, "What is it with this place and spirals?" Because every sort of quote unquote dungeon she's got into has had like a spiral staircase or something.
Mm-hmm.
Takes about 3 or so hours to go down this, and this is including you guys going fairly slow, checking for traps. And it does level off at some places. It continues in a straight line for a while, just completely dull and kind of boring. After about an hour, and yes, I just retconned that as it happened. Don't worry about it.
Implying Rosalind checks for traps. Huh.
DM flex.
Yep. The kind of hallway continues on and continues on, and eventually it kind of starts to widen out, kind of imperceptibly at first, but then you can definitely notice, yeah, this room's getting a lot wider as it doesn't stop when it reaches just kind of outside your radius of dark vision. It's only the center of this very large corridor is being lit up by your orb, but it's massive. Does anybody have like advanced dark vision?
Are
We
you
don't have
ready?
any warlocks.
Are you ready for the amount of dark vision I have, Dova?
How much?
I have a whopping 60 feet of dark vision.
Wow.
I know it's impressive. I don't know how I got this overpowered, but that's what
You
I
would
have.
not be able to see the walls
Damn.
as something comes into focus ahead. A small kind of pedestal, about humanoid shape, humanoid sized. It looks to be kind of hunched over a very plain looking human, kind of very simplified statue. Kind of looking on just a little bit beyond that is a gigantic door. Looking up, you can't see the top in the darkness. Looking to the sides, you can't see the sides, but you see a very distinct seam down the middle. And this entire door has been carved with reliefs and outlines and various depictions of these strange otherworldly beasts and beings. All of them, or some of them kind of depicted to be kind of pulling at the seam itself as if they're trying to open it. But you can see along both all of these inscriptions and murals and reliefs, there's these arcane symbols, very similar to the one that Inun is wearing.
Oh, hey, Inun, this is your department. I can't read any of this baloney.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, but he's got no idea what it means either.
Write him down. That's what
I'm
he's just
gonna
gonna be
ask.
going through and sketching out all the symbols, even doing rubbings if he needs to.
I'm gonna ask our halfling friend what he thinks
Of this?
of all of this. Yeah.
He's just kind of looking up at it, holding an ever-bright lantern.
I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I think this is the place.
Gee, what gives you that idea?
The gigantic, looks to be mile-high door. The very strange sort of... I assume that this door is locked.
The atmosphere of ancient death.
Yeah,
in the air.
kind of that too. I'm feeling like something's
You're
watching
sarcasm,
me right now.
aren't you?
Well, kind of. I'm just kind of giving that up. I don't see any like door handles, and I see this like statue right here, which I assume to be a way that you like open the door or something, like a puzzle or like a key.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stand next to the statue and I'm gonna hunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything on the ground?
On the ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, the statue's hunched over, so
Well, yeah,
I'm gonna
like
look at
I'm sorry. That was just the way that I'm saying. On the ground, there is a large, kind of very faintly engraved circle, about 50 to 60 feet across, and this being is standing like on the edge of it, closest to the door, facing towards the way you came, so away from the door.
So-
and it's not really it's kind of on its knees, no arms, or at least none that are separate from the carving. It might just be a stylistic thing, but it's a very very vague outline of a being.
It doesn't look like it's missing arms, does it? My Resident Evil senses are tingling.
No, it looks to be very vague and just featureless.
Wait, is this a statue or carving?
Looks to be a statue.
Can I
It's
try?
it's a solid amount out of the ground, so I don't know what you would consider if it would be a carving or. But it looks like it was.
So it's more like an outdent or something.
It's like a pedestal. It's about that height. It's about the height of somebody kneeling.
The difference between a carving and a statue is mainly whether they just carved out the rock face to make this, or if it was a statue, then it was carved elsewhere and then brought here.
Does it have stone sense?
I was thinking more 2D
not.
versus 3D.
I don't think
it's
any
3D,
of us.
very much 3D.
I'm gonna ask Cody.
But yeah, Blue's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Cody's been looking at it the whole time and saying, "Well, there's quite a few of these runes on the ground and kind of in the area, and it's a bit outside of my my expertise."
Well, no offense, it's just that you and Blue are kind of like stony, mechanically.
I very well understand, but I've quite literally had a lot of my memories just get wiped when the morning happened. So
Fair.
I'm missing a lot of background information that would probably make this a lot easier.
Okay.
Anun's gonna check his book.
I'm gonna kneel down.
All right.
Because you said it looks like it's praying, right?
Not necessarily. It looks like it's just kind of sitting down on its knees. Its
from the way you
back
described it,
is fairly upright, very slightly kind of leaning forward. But it's so vague, and the way it was carved almost makes it look like it was designed and it was kind of stylistically made to not depict anything.
Oh, great. Modern art.
Yeah, it's looking pretty minimalist.
I'm gonna kneel on the other side of the circle facing him in the same way.
All right.
The way you made it sound is it sounds almost like a alchemist or a magician just kneeling outside their magic circle.
That's a pretty good way to kind of describe its position. There's a few things you would probably add if you were to make it again, if you were to sculpt it, but
Wait, you said it was on the edge of a big circle on the ground?
Yeah, that was what I looked down to establish. I would have also like traced around this. Well, you said it was like 50 feet in diameter, didn't you?
Yeah.
I would have walked around the entire circumference.
All right.
I'm gonna say, hey Zerth, do you think you could push against its side? Maybe maybe something rotates here, and it's facing the door we came in, and the door we came in is open.
Face it the other way.
I was thinking, because this is a big circle, maybe it rotates.
It's worth a try.
Give me an investigation check. Looking at it, there's a lot of funky ruins in the circle. Ones that you haven't seen before. You're not really sure what they mean or what they correspond to. But right in front of kind of the figure, you can see kind of a line of these runes and kind of a very kind of carved line leading towards the center, and kind of sprinkled intermittently in the center of this circle is another kind of inner circle about maybe the size of a manhole cover, just carved into the ground, and sprinkled around this are a few characters, a few runes, and some of them, about a tenth of them, are a kind of backwards R that you've seen quite a few times, including on your robes. And as Zerth, you try to kind of push and try to get it to kind of move and rotate, it is not budging.
Noon's gonna go walk into the center circle.
I was gonna suggest that.
As you start to step into the circle, you feel a slight bit of resistance, but just kind of push past, almost as if passing through a little sheet of paper. And as you can see near his claws and near his feet, these little runes are very briefly kind of lighting up with little bits of phosphorescence as he walks past, and kind of dim back down to darkness as he continues on. But as he reaches the circle, this kind of energy kind of flows through these conduits and through these rooms, slowly kind of sparking off each other and kind of building up in this little feedback loop that kind of amplifies itself over and over and over. There's this kind of very deep resonance building up in this chamber around you. It feels like the mountain's about to take off and just start running. Just the amount of energy that feels to be around you, and all of a sudden it just kind of fades into complete utter silence as you hear your heart beating in your ears, your blood rushing through your veins. There's a very deep, colossal chunk as very silently the doors begin to very slowly open rearwards, millimeters at a time. As the door into the mountains opens.
As it starts opening, Anoon's gonna fall to his knees, exhausted, as he was kind of having to brace himself against the force.
I'll tend to him.
All right.
Just kind of panting and gets up with help.
Very good.
Well, that's open.
Hopefully it doesn't shut behind us.
Well, if it does, y'all just get us back out.
We just did though.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did.
You are right now. You're going through the door right now.
I just thought it was apt considering you said the room freaking opened up like you can't see the sides. It's so fucking Moria. If we find Balrog in here, then I'm gonna be freaking happy, actually.
But inside the door is a similar amount of just pure empty blackness. The door remains open behind you before very slowly starting to close again. You can see a similar kind of apparatus on this side, so you could probably open it back up.
Do we want to put something
so-
in front of it?
What did you say this place was used for?
Well, the history books said that the people who came here left much more powerful wizards and artificers.
I fall off of Zerk's shoulder.
You know what, guys? I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. It was kind of associated with a place that did eventually call itself the Evergreen Conclave. Might have been important to you since I see that you're kind of wearing those runes. Yeah.
What now? So there's just Rosalind looking at Inun.
I think he's talking about my predecessors, whoever I came from.
So you're coming to the realization that this might be where you came from. This slow dawning realization that
Origin.
yeah, and you're not sure how to feel.
Trying to process what he's feeling, he's going to take out his map and he's going to name this location. He's going to rename it to Origin.
All right. As you put the pen away, roll the map back up. I think we'll end there for the week.
You see, what I'm thinking of is this map that we all see. I mean, Anoon's the cartographer and he has the map, so we're just looking at my map here on Fantasy Grounds. Even has all my notes in it and such.
Yeah.
I
did accidentally erase the
Huh?
I did accidentally erase the drawing over the mountains. Sorry
That's okay. There's more on this map.
Okay.
You're just gonna turn
erased
into
those as well.
Deckard Cain.
Us, come stay a while.
Stay a while and listen.
Stay a while and listen. Oh.
Oh, you see, this is a wonderful creature that you just
on board.
We found a
Does
new
this mean
house.
Does this mean that Inun will eventually get the ability to summon a Lornado?
Who's Deckard?
You don't know Deckard Cain?
Deckard Cain, the great
He's-
identifier of mystical objects.
Yeah, he's a very old dude who traveled the world of Diablo throughout the Diablo games, and he knows a lot of the lore and the monsters and makes lots of maps. And he's famous for the "stay a while and listen" quote.
Yeah.
So he's a wizard?
He's like an archivist.
Yeah.
He does have magic, yeah. But I wouldn't really call him a powerful wizard. He has a mixture of small magics and scrolls that he uses. He's a very practical kind of wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I ask is there's a show on YouTube called Bee and Puppy Cat. I don't know if anyone's heard of it.
Yes.
The characters. So there's this family. Their last name is Wizard, and all of them are named after wizards, and one of them is named Deckard.
Hmm.
His sister's name is Castaspella.
I don't get that reference.
I think it's He-Man, if I remember correctly. Like
That
the
may be
villain,
right.
a villain from He-Man. Anyway, they all call her Cassie, but I think it's funny that I actually know the origin of his name.
Yeah. He's also in Heroes of the Storm, and he has two ultimates. One is Stay a While and Listen, where he puts everyone to sleep with an enchanting tale. And the other one is the other one is Lornado, where he literally fires a tornado of books at people.
That's beautiful. I gotta play this game for Lornado.
Just for that.
Just for that. It's my only reasons of existing right now.
All right.
Really?
I missed it.
What?
Just look at the Discord. That's not the only one. I told you I have notes on this map. And I'm gonna keep adding them.
Oh my god, there's a...
All right,
just realized
everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Echoes of Eberron Dungeons and Dragons. We will be back next week with more. I will be back tomorrow.
Wait, no, we won't.
All right,
It's
next
the
week is the
17th.
skip.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Sad news bears.
Big sad.
I will be back tomorrow with Tales of Miraleth Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Dova, for running. And check our website, cgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon. All those are on the website, as well as in our description below. Thank you all for playing, and I bid you all a very fond adieu.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good night.
I'm having so much fun.